What's up, dude? What's up? What's up? What's up? Let's just come up on here. Let's go click that right there. Let's click that right there. Come up over on YouTube right there. Refresh it right there. Hurry up and get over here right here. Change the image on YouTube so it's not the same thumbnail right there. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Tick a boom boom baggity. Bagga bugga bagga dum boom. Bagga dum bagga ding bang baggity. Bagga ding digga bagga boom boom. Bagga ding bagga ding bagga digga boom. Ding digga bang digga boom. Ding digga ding digga digga ding ding digga digga ding ding digga digga boom. What's up, dude? Everybody, it's Monday. What's good, bro? What's good? Hopefully everybody starts trickling them up and in here now. We are live. Do we have a doozy for you? Dude, we've got a lot of new followers over on YouTube, bro. Walking Collective, what's up, player? I don't know if I've seen you in here before. Who's up in here? If everyone's up in here, it's going to be so fun, bro. Because guess what? I'm excited. One of the things I'm most excited for, bro, is simply just the fact that last night I woke up with like 300 more followers on YouTube, bro. Hopefully we get a pretty good crowd up in here. That's what I'm hoping for. Let's see here. For some reason, on this side, I'm sorry. I wish I could just give you a hug right now, Melissa. I'm giving you hugs, giving you hugs. We love you, Melissa. What's up? What's up? Where you guys at, dude? Let me come up over here and just refresh the chat for Facebook. There's the chat. There we go. Got the chat going for FaceBizzle. What's up? What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? If you're here, what's up? Today we got a doozy. Well, we can definitely chat later, okay, Melissa? Hopefully by the end of today's stream, we can at least give you, that spiritual hug that you're needing right now. Dang, we got 5 people up on YouTube, bro. We got so much new people. What's up, dude? Shit, the loves, the little hearts. Yeah, they kind of became a little bit iconic up over here on Twitch. Plus, what's up, Brittany? What's up, everybody? Streaming live right now. Here we go. We're on Facebook. What's up, Facebook? If you're here, please just drop your location in the chat, bro. I'm weird and I like to visualize the globe, and then when everyone puts a different new location, I visualize a little lighthouse on that location, and then I just imagine positive ripples just encasing and engulfing the whole planet, bro. What's good? What's good? So if you're new here, say what's up, introduce yourself, say hello, bro, because I know we're going to have some new peeps in here. What's good? Oh, yeah, let me give you guys a little hand heart to start the day off good. You know what I mean? Start the little day off good. We also can just go ahead and if you want to help also start the stream off good, you could just take a few moments out of your day, look around, and just comment something that you're actually grateful for while I'm telling you what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful that I have the capacity to change the things I believe so that I can live my best life. British Columbia, Canada, let's go. What's up, Maine? And that's specifically really what it is when it comes to being a parent. It's I didn't have the best upbringing, and my dad was absent almost all of my life. Cleveland, Tennessee, let's go. Sarpborg, what's up? Team Humans in the house, what's good? But I'm just truly grateful for the ability to grow and not get stuck in these patterns, specifically when it comes to being a dad, losing my patience or I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Raising my voice, being a dictator versus a mediator, if that makes sense. It's my way or the highway type vibes. And I'm really trying to steer away from that because I feel like it doesn't help them as much as I assumed that it would inside of myself, What's up, Norway, bro? We got someone in Canada, 2 people in Canada. We got someone in freaking Norway, bro. Norway, dude. Dang, that's sick, bro. Okay. That's what's up, bro. Yeah, I'm a cycle breaker too. I'm trying to change the trajectory of my children's life because I've been holding on to these ancestral and generational curses. At least my bloodline has been for a long time. Like all of my biological family are like an inactive addiction, been to prison, just struggled most of their lives. Trying to be a generational curse bringer and raise these 3 boys to be actually good men of integrity that contribute to the planet. What's up, dude? Okay, real quick, for everybody, let me just do this. real fast, real motherfucking fast before we get going, okay? I'm dropping something in the chat real fast for all of y'all. Don't leave me. Don't go. If you guys are new here, in the beginning of my stream, I try my best to just give y'all something that no matter how long you stay on the stream, even if it's only for a second, it's something that you can take with you, your soul can take with you when you close out of the app. So let me just do this real fast. Sorry, guys. I got to drop it in this chat over here on my phone so that I can come up over here and pin it to the top. I'm trying to get everybody to come up over to Kick. I'll drop the link in all platforms. There's the Kick link. The Kick link is in the chat. If you don't know what Kick is, Kick has come to be the platform where I have found, for one, majority of the people who are consistent in watching my streams, I've just kind of guided all of the traffic over to Kick. Okay? But you can stay wherever you choose to go. All the homies are over in Kick. We do got 7 people up on YouTube. What's up, YouTube? I knew you guys would show out today. What's good, bro? I knew you guys would show out today. Let me get that heart hand, bro. Let me get the freaking heart hand. The gosh darn camera. What's up, Facebook? We got Unstoppable Labels, Amelia Bajorn, Adriana, Simone. We got Julia up in the house. What's up, dude? We got Dale Amon. What's up? Scruffmeister. What's up? If you do actually come over to Kick, okay? If you come over to Kick, please just put a red, green, and a yellow heart. So I know that you came from a different platform over to Kick. And the only reason I'm saying that is because one of the goals I have on Kick is I have to get 100 individual people to comment something, okay? That's it. What's up, Nicole? So if you can, even if you want to stay on YouTube or stay on Twitch or stay on Facebook, if you could at least just jet over to the Kick, give me a little follow, put those hearts up in the chat, and then you could go to whichever platform you prefer. But if that would be the simple, easiest, free, fun, adventurous thing you could do for your humble host. I'm not stealing Baron Coleman's line. I'm just saying I am humble, and today I am the host. What's up, guys? How the fuck are you guys? What's up? It's Monday. We love all of you. Las Vegas, what's up, dude? What's up, Berto? Let's go. Tia, what's up? What's up, dude? What's up, dude? Okay. Kesmet Heather, what's up? What's up? Thank you so much. What's up, Aaron? What's up? We got a whole squad up in here, boy, because today is going to be a doozy. I know you guys probably have heard. I don't know. Maybe you've heard that there was like a video shown at the end of the Tyler Robinson case of like a 4K quality video of Tyler Robinson taking the shot. And everyone is saying, no, it didn't happen. Yes, it did happen. No, it didn't happen. Yes, it did happen. Well, guess what? We're going to look in web ourselves and look at the actual complete transcript of that court hearing, and I'll show you what's the truth. I hope to see you there. We got a little opening message that I like to go with. Like I said, the opening message is so that even if you can only stay for a little bit, I'm trying to at least give you something you can take with you. And then I like to go, we're in like this propaganda war. Spiritual discernment is an absolute must. So after the opening message, I like to just go up over to there and look on the internet, and we just like look at clips and talk about stuff that's happening. And then I'll show you the web And then at the end, bro, I have this little video we're going to watch. We might not get all the way through it, and we might have to save it for tomorrow. Speaking of which, tomorrow, Queen Trip is going to join the stream. Queen Trip's going to be up in there on the stream. If you don't know who Queen Trip is, that is my beautiful wife. She happens to be upstairs handling and dealing with our 3 children. Simultaneously, we've got some new merch coming on the way. Matching tank top and sweat sets for both boys and girls, bro. My son is in the process. If you don't know, my son has helped me draw some stuff for the merch. And he actually is in the process of drawing something new. This is his rough draft. It's the White House with a bunch of people on the bottom, and it says release the files right there, and then it's got a little alien with a UFO. He says that the little alien right here in the UFO will also be the front of the shirt, and then this will be all on the back of it. Hell yeah. Let's go. Yeah, my mom did come on. It was a few weeks ago, I think. We are not selling sunglasses yet. We are trying to get the merch going, because I know obviously if y'all have merch and I'm like, hey, go get some merch, and then obviously why would you buy a fucking shirt that you already have? You know what I'm saying? So in order to get people to want to buy the merch, I gotta keep dropping new shit, bro. New fire ass fucking gear, bro. New threads, new drip. You know what I mean? So you can trip over drip, homie. Cheers. How are y'all doing today? What's good? What's goody? What's goody? Pretty Ricky's up on Pretty Ricky, what's up? Thank you for dropping those hearts. Thank you for dropping the hearts on the Kick chat when you came over to Kick. I appreciate that so much. Let me real quick just pin it to the top of Facebook's chat. There we go. Please, if you could. Nana G42078. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you for coming over, dude. Thank you, dude. Thank you, dude. All right, you guys ready to get up inside of this mindful message? Let's just get the Twitch stream rolling. We've been live for 12 minutes already. Sheesh. All right, here we go. I'm doing well, Roxy. I appreciate you. Cheers. You didn't stumble upon my channel by accident. You might think that you're just killing time, but the people who end up here usually share the same strange mix. We're all spiritually hungry, we're mentally exhausted, we're curious about everything, and we're sick and tired of this fucking surface level bullshit. You're the one who can, probably just like me, be surrounded in a room by people and still feel like none of this is talking to my soul. You scroll, you listen, you try, and still feel like something deeper is calling you that most spaces don't even get close to touching. You notice patterns that other people miss. You feel energy in rooms before anybody can say a word. You ask why and what's the point when everyone else is just asking what's next. And if that sounds like you, if you've ever felt like you're built for more than just surviving and scrolling, you can just comment, "This feels like home." So you have a receipt for at least one place on the internet that actually speaks your language. Because this space is really, it's not just about content, bro. It's a place for people who want to heal their mind and spirit, who want to understand reality beyond the surface, who want to love themselves without apology, and want to hear the truths that most timelines will never even say out loud. So from here, we consistently build and build and build. So here's your first piece of spiritual truth that you can take with you, even if you never come back. For one, self-love has nothing to do with ego. Self-love is treating your own soul like it is something sacred, meeting your own needs without calling it selfish, talking to yourself like someone who is worth saving, and remembering that you are worthy of knowing the divine directly. So let's be clear about who I'm talking to. You've been through some things. maybe addiction, maybe heartbreak, maybe religious trauma, maybe mental health battles. You've had nights where you didn't know if you were going to make it, and mornings where you put the mask on anyways. You've asked questions that made other people uncomfortable. You felt things that no one around you could explain. You've probably had moments when you felt crazy for how deeply you feel, only to realize later that your sensitivity was picking up on truth before anyone else could even see it. You're the kind of person that can scroll past 1,000 videos and still feel empty because you don't want entertainment, bro. You want connection, wisdom, and something real. So here, at least on my channel, I try my best to never pretend that these questions don't exist. And we try always, every stream, to build around them. This space is for the ones who overthink and overlove. The ones who feel too much and see too much. The ones who are tired of being told that just be normal when their soul has never wanted a normal life one time. It's for the ones who know that they have gifts but don't fully trust themselves yet. This is for the ones who know that they're here for something but they can't quite name it. Know that they're not satisfied with shallow spirituality or like shallow self-help. You're not too much, bro. You're just finally noticing how most spaces ask you for your spirit. When we live stream here, we tend to blend a lot of worlds and categories that don't ever even usually sit in the same room or the same conversation. And it's all because your soul is big enough to hold them. That's why you're here. We talk about spiritual wellness and mental health. We ask questions like how to keep your mind and soul intact in a world that profits from your anxiety and your confusion. Why self-love is a spiritual discipline and not just some hashtag. How self-care becomes sacred when it's rooted in respecting your nervous system, your limits, and your needs. We also go into topics that touch inner child healing, breaking shame cycles, learning to speak to yourself like someone you actually want to survive, and build confidence from the inside out, not just acting confident, but actually trusting yourself, bro. Because if the voice in your head is still your worst enemy, no amount of spiritual information will feel safe enough to ever even land. We also get into topics about quantum mechanics and consciousness. We explore the ideas about why your attention is sacred, how your focus changes your brain and your reality, how where your attention goes, energy flows. It's more than just a slogan. It literally is a description on how your inner world shapes your outer one. We like to talk about frequencies, coherence, why your emotional state affects how you perceive your life, the idea of a collective awakening, like more people becoming more aware of their emotional patterns, spiritual beliefs, and potential all at the same time. Not to make you feel like you have to be in high vibes or 24/7, bro, but to show you that your awareness is part of a much bigger shift happening right now on planet Earth. We also like to take deep dives into ancient sites, cultures, and occult symbolism. We go down the rabbit holes of the pyramids, the stone circles, temples, sacred sites, myths, gods, rituals of our ancient cultures, symbols like the Ankh, the pentagram, the yin-yang, flower of life, and way more. We like to ask questions like why the same shapes and numbers appear in most spiritual traditions, secret societies, and even modern branding. We like to ask questions like what these patterns say about how humans have tried to talk to the invisible. Not to scare you, though, but to give you a language for the things that you've already felt before but never had words for. We also like to talk about the untouchable topics here. Secret societies and stuff that gets you shadow banned. We look into the history of secret and quasi-secret societies, how elite networks and occult fraternities have influenced religion, politics, and culture, while some topics consistently get censored, mocked, or just pushed into that lovely category, conspiracy theories. The thing about my channel, though, is I'm not ever even wanting to ever tell you that you have to believe this conspiracy or believe that or believe that. Fuck, man, I don't know what to believe sometimes. Really, it's just about here's the information, here's the symbolism, here's the pattern. What does your discernment say? Because in a spiritual war for your attention and your soul, knowing how your power has historically been used is part of staying free. And then this one is where you never know where things are going to end up. Because we like to talk about Yeshua or Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, Source, God, the divine, whatever label it is that you have. We hold space for people who left religion but kept their spiritual faith, for people who are re-examining what they were taught when they were younger, for people who want a relationship with God or divine or universe that feels honest and alive. Because underneath all of that, the real work is simple, bro. It's to help all of us to become more whole, more loving, more confident, more grounded, more awake, more you, more me. This channel that I have started is not at ever one time ever to tell you what to think. It's literally just an invitation for you to think deeply, like beyond slogans or headlines, to feel honestly and not just bypass your pain, to love yourself harder than you ever fucking have. The vibe here is spiritual but practical, deep but not pretentious, sometimes conspiratorial, but we're never hopeless, always pointed toward healing, self-respect, and discernment. We laugh, we question, we go down the craziest rabbit holes, but we always come back to 3 questions. How do we live better? How do we love better? How do we treat our own soul like it matters? Because in an attention economy that treats your focus like a commodity, choosing to care about your own inner world is a radical act of rebellion. You're taking your mental health, your spiritual growth, your self-worth seriously is a quiet form of rebellion against systems that literally spend billions of dollars trying to make you want to numb out. So let me ask you something, like honestly, okay? What's one thing that you're actually actively working on in yourself right now? It could be self-love, like learning to talk to yourself like someone you actually care about. It could be finally facing what happened instead of numbing to it. It could be like building confidence, trusting your voice, your path, your gifts. It could be wanting or needing clarity, trying to figure out what you really believe beyond what you were taught. Or maybe it was learning to set boundaries without guilt. Maybe it's forgiving yourself for your past choices, reconnecting with the divine after feeling betrayed by religion, letting go of shame and start seeing yourself as worthy. When you know your answer, even if it's messy, you can just comment, I'm working on me. So this space, me, you, and everyone that is here, we can witness that there is a version of you that is not given up yet, one that is still trying, one that is still healing, one that is still loving, laughing, and living. Cheers. All right, if you guys have made it here, I just want you to know I love you. I'm about to rapid fire a whole bunch of spiritual bombs that you can take with you. I almost can guarantee that one of them will resonate with you. If one of them resonates with you, please just drop the words Team Human for everyone. Let's see how many Team Humans I can get. Because before you leave this app, this stream, this video, I want you to put a handful of truths right front and center, like things that your soul can carry away from this live stream. Take what hits, leave what doesn't. Number 1, you have the right to exist. You're not an accident, bro. You are a deliberate expression of consciousness in a specific body at this specific time. Number 2, self-love is a spiritual practice. Meeting your own needs, setting boundaries, and speaking to yourself with kindness is part of connecting to the divine, not a distraction from it. Number 3, confidence is trust in life. Real confidence isn't pretending you're perfect, bro. It's believing in a deep way that life is good, God is good, and humanity is still capable of good. And it starts with you. Number 4, doing shadow work, bro, is holy. Facing your pain, your anger, your fear, your ugly parts is not failure. It's making the unconscious conscious so your highest truth can reach the places that you've been hiding. Number 5, your attention is sacred. Whatever you repeatedly give your focus to becomes part of your spiritual diet. Aim it like prayer, not like you're randomly scrolling. Number 6, you are allowed to change your mind, bro. About beliefs, about politics, about people, about who you thought you were. Growth is not betrayal, bro. It's the whole point why we are here. And it's the evidence that you have in front of you every day that you're alive, bro. Number 7, you are worthy of direct connection. You do not need a middleman to be loved by God. You are allowed to know the divine personally, with your own language, in your own time, in your own body. Number 8, you are not your trauma. Your trauma explains some of your patterns, but it does not define your worth. Healing doesn't erase your story, though. It just changes the way your story ends. Number 9, collective awakening starts inside of you. The big shift that everyone is talking about isn't just out there in the world. It begins every time you choose presence over numbness, love over fear, honesty over denial, and truth over comfort. Last but not least, number 10. You are enough to begin. Not when you're perfect, not when you're healed, not when you figured it all out. Right now, you can start. You can begin. Start the journey. Start the hobby. Build the business. Create the content. Write the book. Hold the boundary. Shoot the basket. With what you know right now and with what you don't. You're perfect just the way you are. And if even one of those landed, bro, then this video didn't just give you information. It gave you something to walk with. This channel is for people who believe that learning is sacred, healing is possible, and being a human in 2026 is intense, but it's really meaningful. If you're one of those people, you're in the right place, bro. Welcome to Team Human. I'm glad that you're coming along for the journey. Shit, dude. You guys get that one? You guys get that one, bro? Shit. Damn, boy. What's up? Who's here? You just know, for everybody who's up in here, if you like to be up in here and anything ever resonates, you can just spam Team Human. You can just draw aliens up in the Chizat, bro. You know what I mean? Even though it's like, it's kind of silly. It's like Team Human, but like my favorite emote, and I resonate with being an alien a lot. Just only really because I resonate so much with the fact that I don't think that there's a whole bunch of humans out there that are like me, kind of. Like there's people out there that are like me, but not like me, if that makes sense. I've resonated with like feeling alienated from the human species since I was an infant. I was a wee little lad. A wee little lad in the year 1990. In the late 1900s. Gee willikers. Oh boy, do we got some stuff to go over today, boy. Okay, you're right. Maybe the Tyler Robinson stuff was debunked, bro. Okay? Maybe the Tyler Robinson stuff was debunked. We're just going to watch a few clips, okay? We're watching a few clips. Brandy Siciliani. She was actually in the courtroom, actually, when everybody was like, oh, at the very end of the court, they closed off the cameras and the doors to the public, and they showed a 4K video of Tyler Robinson taking the shot. Oh, shit. We're going to go over some clips. And then I'm going to go and look at the court transcript myself because Webb has it in there. And we're going to just go settle it for all of us. We're just going to go look at what actually happened in the court. I could even just show you real fast. Let me just come up over here like this. You know what I'm saying? I can pull it up right here. The court transcripts right here. Exhibit 7, Exhibit 8, Exhibit 9, Exhibit 12.12, 12.2. We can look at all of it. We're going to watch these clips first, and then we'll get to that. All right, let's let Baron Coleman and Brandy talk.
The video we just watched, you just saw the video. How fundamentally different? How much zooming, how much cropping, how different was the video you saw in court from what we just watched?
So I would say we're not 100% positive if it's that same exact camera. It might be another camera that's like maybe 20 feet away. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe. From my perspective, I think it's the same camera and it slightly zooms in.
The guy testified it was the same camera. That's what I just played.
Oh, okay, then it is.
No distinction other than circles and a little zoom. So how much did they zoom in?
Barely at all.
I would guess 20 to 30%.
Okay.
Like you cannot make out who it is. It's just a little black figure. We've talked to other people that were the other 14 people in line just to get their perspectives as well. And one of them jokingly said, like, it could have been a cow on the roof. That's how far away it is. You literally cannot definitively say that it's Tyler Robinson. You cannot make out who it is at all.
Okay. Let's just set the groundwork, okay? Set the groundwork. I gotta sneeze again. Oh, yeah. Okay. Set the groundwork. Check this out, okay? New pics from the excavation of Charlie's crime scene show that they really did remove 10 inches of earth before paving over it. This is 10 minutes away from my house, everybody, okay? I live in Utah, okay? This really just hits real close to home, homie. I could go there today and look at this right now. But it makes sense, you know, if we're really looking at it, if you really want to just take a little gander and be like, okay, a bomb exploded inside of Charlie Kirk's shirt. Yep, we need to make sure we get all of the bomb residue, allegedly. Oh, I just wanted to pull this up. Yeah, are those the same people? I don't know. You tell me, bro. Ooh, we got some, dude, we got fucking, if you're new here, there's some names up in here I haven't seen before, bro. If you're new here, can you just say, I'm new? Oh, there it is. Little of Love, what's up? What's up? What's up? Call me Shart. Call me Shar1. Sorry about that. Kate Cleo, what's up? You guys, thank you so much for coming over, bro. For real, for real. Thank you, guys. Oh, my goodness. Dude, how many people we have up in here on Kick right now, bro? I don't think I've ever had 22 people. What the shit, dude? 5 people on YouTube, 4 people on Facebook. What's up if you're here? I love you. Thank you, guys. What's up? What's up? All right. I just wanted to show you all those pictures. It doesn't look like him at all. We're going to watch this little, no, not that clip, Ski. We're going to watch this clip right here. Tim Dillon, friend of the show. I love him. He's funny. I like listening to him, make me laugh. Mike's mom. What's up, Mom? Oh, my goodness gracious, dude. I didn't know that's who it was. What's up, Shar? Tell Nikki and Mike I send my love. But let's watch Tim Dillon real quick.
If he staged the assassination attempt at Butler, I don't care. I don't care, and I think he should admit it. I think he should admit it. I should change the subject. Stop talking about Iran. Just admit you staged it in Butler. It was the heat of the campaign. People do crazy things in campaigns. I think, I'm speaking just for myself, I will not think less of you if you admit to staging and faking the assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania. I will be impressed by the level of coordination. Explain to us how you did it. Kind of like those David Copperfield behind that. And I know that David Copperfield had some Epstein links. Folks, that's neither here nor there. I'm trying to explain the way a magician will show you how they do their trick. I think Donald Trump should do a 1-hour special on Barry Weiss's CBS News. This is a great idea. With Barry, members of the Mossad, and Trump to discuss how they fabricated and staged the assassination attempt. Now, of course, a real person.
This is where it gets so weird. This is where it gets real weird. This is where it starts to get weird. I heard about an ancient Jewish prophecy regarding the piercing of a left ear to bring in some sort of divine being. Can you please elaborate on the prophecy that, like I said, revolves around the piercing of the right ear?
I looked into this, and I couldn't find any mention of an ancient Jewish prophecy that involves piercing the left or right ear to bring in a divine being. What does exist in Jewish tradition is a practice described in Exodus 21, 5-6, where a Hebrew servant who chooses to remain with his master has his ear pierced as a symbol of his decision. And this is linked to the concept that the ear heard the commandment that the Israelites should serve God alone. There's no connection to summoning divine beings in these teachings, though. If you heard something
there's nothing along the lines of in the Talmud when they're talking about Armageddon and building the third temple to bring in the Messiah. There's nothing in any of that revolves around an individual getting the right ear pierced.
From what I found, traditional Jewish sources discuss ear piercing in the context of a servant voluntarily staying with a master, as described in Exodus. This piercing is symbolic, but there's no mention of it bringing in a divine being or being tied to a...
Okay, so basically I was off a little bit. But basically it's a way to prove to your master that you serve him. Weird. Weird. What if that was like, oh, baby, I'm your servant. Baby. He just staged the whole thing, you know what I mean? MK Ultra, Thomas Crooks gets up there after he has had his freaking frequency scrambled and his brain turned into the Manchurian Candidate. Now here's something weird, bro. Okay, this is weird as fuck. This is weird. This is weird. This is weird as shit. This person, okay, is Lance Twiggs, the boyfriend who is furry lover gay boys with Tyler Robinson. Supposedly, I don't think that he gives gay vibes whatsoever, if I'm just being honest. But notice here in the beginning of this clip, he doesn't even know. Like, it leads me on to believe that he doesn't even fucking know who Tyler Robinson is, bro. Tell me if you catch it.
And do you know Tyler Robinson?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do.
Why would he do that? Wait, yeah, I do. That's weird.
The same Tyler Robinson that's been charged with the shooting of Charlie Kirk?
Yes.
All right, so you said when you first met, you were roommates?
Yeah.
Okay. When you first met, you were roommates?
Yeah.
Okay. When you first met, you were roommates?
Yeah.
Okay. And then at some point, your relationship progressed to something more than just roommates, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Progressed to something more than just roommates, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
When was that?
I think we started dating 2 or 3 months after he moved in.
Okay.
Who the fuck is Matt? How come it just seemed as if like he didn't know who fucking Tyler was? Doesn't that seem fucking weird to you?
So I'm gonna.
It seems weird as fuck to me, bro. When were you and Matt roommates? I don't know. All right, here we go. Let's hear what Ryan Matta has to say. Friend of the show.
To read the Jack Posobiec Fed slop talking points. So Jack Posobiec was the first one to come out straight out of the trial and say, hey, listen, guys, he got right on the microphone, Real America's Voice, and every media outlet he could. We saw Tyler Robinson in 4K take that shot. So before I read off the text messages of all of the other White House water boys that jumped on that bandwagon, I just want to let everybody know if and when Tyler Robinson walks, because there's 0% chance that there's going to be a jury that's going to convict him, that's going to see the evidence that they're presenting to this judge, and somehow they're going to convince a jury of his peers, if there's actually a jury of his peers, which would be meaning of his age, right? If everybody in the jury's 70 plus, doesn't have social media, and all they do is watch Fox News and MSNBC and CNN, yes, maybe, just maybe there's some way that they could, I don't know. I don't even know how it's possible, because they're going to have to present the same evidence plus more evidence, plus they're going to get the chance to call witnesses and testimony, and they're going to get discovered. All of it's going to be exposed, right? There's a 0% chance Tyler Robinson is guilty of this crime with the evidence that they're presenting here, right? So let me read these texts, and just remember, Jack Posobiec, bro, this ain't Candace Owens' fault. You're the one who's pushing the lies, and you're getting community noted. You can't even tell a lie on X because it's just community note, community note, community note. All of them were because of Brandy, and now noticing, guys, make sure you guys are swinging over there and following Brandy and Webb. They are doing great work. Check this out. It's weird. It's the same people. They say, we saw Tyler Robinson pull the trigger and shoot Charlie
Did he just say and Webb? I'm pretty sure he just said Webb, right?
Kirk. We do in here. It's like the Charlie Kirk Files phase 1. And it's all, I mean, if you zoom in here, they're all wearing the Star of David necklace. It's weird. They got their little Israeli pins and flags on, holding the Epstein binders, you know. Anyways, we got Gunther Engelman, bombshell in court. Surveillance video just dropped showing Tyler Robinson pulling the trigger on Charlie Kirk. Game over. Tyler Robinson is toast and Candace Owens was wrong about everything. How much you think, was this the actual tweet that they got paid for, or was it this one? I'm confused. Anyways, it's a fact. Fox News, CNN, CBS are all reporting they have Tyler Robinson on film taking the fatal shot that killed Charlie Kirk. It's over. He's 100% guilty. Spreading any other nonsense now, you're just a weirdo. Graham Allen, the zoomed-in video shows him taking the shot. It's over. The judge must reconsider his ruling and give the Kirk family the speedy trial they deserve. What else we got on here? Lo and behold, it's Nick Sorter. Breaking high-quality surveillance video has just been shown in the court, showing Tyler Robinson taking this video shows him taking the shot. It's over. The judge must reconsider his ruling and give the Kirk family the speedy trial they deserve. What else we got on here? Lo and behold, it's Nick Sorter. Breaking high-quality surveillance video has just been shown in the court, showing Tyler Robinson taking the shot. We got to highlight that. Make sure you guys engrave that in your head. Taking the shot, Nick Sorter. This is Nick Sorter taking his shot at Charlie Kirk. Robinson is screwed. Jack Posobiec, you can see him take the shot. Insider Wire breaking high-quality video footage shown in court today. Tyler Robinson taking the shot at Charlie Kirk. Andrew Colville coming in for the W. Jack Posobiec, who was inside the courtroom today when they shown in court today. See him take the shot. Insider Wire breaking high-quality video footage shown in court today. Tyler Robinson taking the shot at Charlie Kirk. Andrew Colville coming in for the W. Slam dunk Jack Posobiec, who was inside the courtroom today when they enhanced the surveillance compilation video played, describes the shocking clarity with which you can see the horrifying moment the assassination took Charlie's life. You can see him taking the shot. You will see it all, baby. Tony says it's over.
Okay. Enough with this. Let's just let this run for just a few minutes, and then I'm going to show you and prove to you in real time that they never saw nobody take a shot, bro. They never saw nothing, bro. We just heard Brandy, who was in the courtroom at the beginning of this little clips segment, say that you wouldn't have been able to tell if there was a cow on the roof. That's how grainy the footage was. We'll look at the footage together ourselves, okay? So right now, yeah, the stuff that they showed in court, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's in the transcripts, or at least the video that they replayed from the preliminary hearing at the beginning, and then they played it at the end that was unedited, but it didn't show anything different. At least that's what my interpretation of that is. If I am wrong, can you please correct me in the comments? I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty positive I know what I'm talking about. Maybe I don't. I smoked a bunch today, so I don't know. But let's listen to Tim Dillon talk for a second.
Let's end with that. I haven't watched much of it. Some people are saying, well, the conspiracies are being laid to rest, but some people are saying that there's actually a lot of weird, inconclusive evidence. Cameras not working, things. Ray brought up a good point the other day. Why is Lance Twiggs just diming on Tyler Robinson like that? What's that about? Lance Twiggs wasn't there. I don't have time to go through the whole Charlie Kirk thing. I don't really know a ton about it. But so they can match the bullet fragments in Kirk to Tyler Robinson's rifle. What are we even doing here? No weapon, no witnesses, no case. That's somebody saying that. Might be true.
It might be true. So let's just look ourselves, like I said. I'll just read what this says, okay? Everybody said that they saw a 4K shot happen. Everybody said, right? That's what they said. Like, how many people did you just see on X that Ryan Matta was talking about, saying that they saw him take the shot? The short answer is that there was no 4K video being shown in the court. They captured Tyler Robinson taking the shot at Charlie Kirk. The term 4K doesn't appear. But let's just see what they actually have, all right? Exhibit 7, video of shooting behind the questionnaire. Exhibit 8. That's what all of these are. This is the witnesses. Dang. But here's the video.
Now the image slightly to the left of center. Is that
right?
Yes.
Okay, we're at 8:01. Kimberly, will you please hit play there? Let's go ahead and pause it. Pausing it at 8:20. Were you able to determine if the suspect touched the glass when he dropped from the roof?
Not at the time when we first saw.
I didn't see anything. I didn't even fucking see shit. The shit, dude? What the shit, dude? There's no video of it all. At all.
Now the image slightly to the left of center. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, we're at 8:01. Kimberly, will you please hit play there?
Weird, dude. What about the video shown at the end of court in a closed setting? I tried to take my glasses off because I couldn't really see anything, actually. If I'm being honest with you, I could barely even make out any sort of person jumping off of the fucking roof, bro. Vox, thank you for the gifted subs, bro. Thank you so much. Did you gift subs today, bro? I don't know, bro. Peace out. Love you. Love you, bro. Because what we have here on the side, bro, is actually the whole transcript for the whole entire court thing right here. That's like every spoken word into it. Let's see here. The video at the end of court, Exhibit 16, was not a 4K shooting video. There was a video shown toward the end of the proceedings, but it wasn't 4K footage of Tyler Robinson taking the shot from the rooftop. Here's what actually happened. What was shown, State's Exhibit 16. On day 4 of the preliminary hearing, after extensive back and forth about redactions and publication rules, the state moved to publish Exhibit 16, which was not a shooting video. Exhibit 16 was an interview or interrogation video of the witness named Lance Twiggs. Where's the shooting of it? The video. Where's that at? It's not that Webb's not even saying anything, bro. If someone told you there was 4K video shown in a closed setting at the end of court showing Robinson pulling the trigger, the court transcripts and the documents do not support that. What was shown at the end was Exhibit 16, the Twiggs interview, heavily redacted with portions visible only to the gallery, not the broadcast, and the unedited 2.1 surveillance footage that the state provided overnight. That was a cleaned up version of existing footage, stripped of circles and blur, not 4K footage that captured the trigger pull in high definition. Right there, bro. Right there, bro. Bing, bing, bing. This shit seems so insane to me. Like, if you actually really think about this, bro, how fucking crazy, bro. This right, what are they hiding? It seems insane that this dude potentially, like, realistically, bro, all the content creators are talking about this, bro. This is life or death for this person. Regardless of your political beliefs, regardless of what you believe about this situation, at the end of this, it will be decided if this person that is in court will live or die. So in my personal opinion, regardless of who it is, the facts better be straight. Like, it better be a clear picture of what's actually happening. And maybe you're like me. None of this stuff makes sense. It hasn't made sense since Charlie Kirk got Charlie Kirked. The whole entire time, it's been a fucking circus, a complete shit show from both sides. The people who are investigating it, they're saying a whole bunch of stuff that makes the other side fucking lose their shit, bro. All over X, it's all this, all that, over boo, but everybody's just acting like it's like this whole thing is just like a circus, bro. What the shit, dude? Check this out, bro. Grandfather recovering from surgery after being hit by a bison, bro.
This morning, a grandfather visiting Yellowstone National Park stalked, then thrown into the air by a massive bison.
What?
Campers noticing the lone bison amid the tents and running around the site. Look out, bison! The bison can then be seen resting momentarily on the grass when the grandfather and his grandson walk into view, stopping to take photos. Mike McLeod, a local park photographer, capturing the attack.
Just as the minute that the bison stood up, the grandfather's like, we're out of here.
But just as a white pickup truck comes into view, the bison begins to charge the fleeing pair. his grandfather attempting to hide among the trees, but the bison in hot pursuit, eventually tossing the helpless visitor 8 feet in the air.
The bison was pumping his legs and pumping his head and exhibiting very aggressive behavior.
McLeod trying to distract the bison by yelling and jumping up and down, putting down his camera to rush and assist the injured man.
He was in a lot of pain and he was trying to not move his leg.
That's crazy, bro. What the shit, dude? Could you imagine, bro? I'm telling you, bro, I'd be scared as a motherfucker, bro. All of a sudden, you're just sitting there and this big-ass bison just gets up, dude. What the shit? All right, guys, check this out. I have to go to the potty. I have to go to the bathroom. All righty. Please spare me just a few moments. Please don't leave. We're just going to let Danks talk.
And you know that I researched if anybody had ever...
Friend of the show, Danks, if you ever see this, bro, I'd love to link up, homie.
assassinated a political figure or someone of...
But I will be right back. I'm running upstairs to go to the bathroom. Please don't leave. After this, we are going to be getting into a video that Mind Unveiled put on about photoshopping and how they have been editing videos and footage and photos for hundreds of years, so that you and me can have the information about how they do this, so that we can go on into the world and have better discernment about what's real, what's fake, what could be altered. I think it's only just going to help really benefit all of us, that little video. So let me play some Danks. This came out 33 minutes ago. Let me hit this right here. Let me go like this, at Tripoverdrip, because this is my personal YouTube. It's not my actual YouTube, my Tripoverdrip YouTube. At Tripoverdrip. I'm here showing your video on stream. Let's link up. Let's put parentheses. This is my personal YouTube. Here we go. I'll be back in a few minutes. I love you guys. Thank you for always showing up and showing out. If you guys are new here, you guys just barely joined, if y'all could just hit the link that's pinned to the top of the chat, come over to Kick, bro. I need to get 100 separate individual people to comment on Kick to be able to move up to the next little level of whatever these like accomplishment things I have to get. Plus, I'm just excited about Kick, bro. If y'all just could just head on over to the old Kick ski. I'll be right back. Let's let Danks talk.
High power, gotten away from the scene, and then turned themselves in on their own. Never has somebody assassinated a high-profile figure and then turned themselves in. Ever. After getting away, turning themselves in willingly has never happened. I believe this is a pressure test. I'm going to jump right into the Fed slop. This is all a pressure test. So what do I mean? If you internally really believes that is the only narrative out there, or the 95% narrative, which, to be honest, it probably is the bigger narrative, I would say. It definitely is. Most people don't know what we know. They haven't looked into the case at all. Like, think about a murder case. If Tyler Robinson believes that everybody is against him, what do you think would happen? Let's go there first. If you are Tyler Robinson and you believe everybody wants to kill you, and they came to you, say they're going to go to trial. September 1st comes, we're going to trial. We have a plea deal for you. Tyler, we got a plea deal for you. We need you to think about it. Now, remember, all the way since he's been in jail, September 11th, all the way to today, which is July 11th. So it's been, how many months is that? July, August, September. It's like 10 months. It's been 10 months. And every day, we don't know what he's hearing inside. We haven't heard any phone calls from him going to the outside. We haven't heard any word from him. So we don't know what he's thinking, what he's seeing. It seems like he's kind of just going through the motions right now. I don't see any emotional, if anything, I think he looks kind of chilling. It's kind of strange, honestly, if we kind of look at it. Tyler Robinson looks like he's chilling, like he's just sitting in math class, which I think is a little weird, just me. But maybe he is so confident, he's like, this is ridiculous. This is not me. I don't know why they would, obviously we're gonna prove it's not me. Okay, then over the next 10 months, you are being told, and you're hearing from people inside the jail, you're hearing from the attorneys, you're hearing from maybe someone you talk to on the phone, you see it on the TV, on the news and the TV in the jail, if there is one, you're the killer. You've confessed. Everybody, I did it, says Tyler. I sent the text messages. I left the firearm at the scene. I fled the scene, but I couldn't. I had to do it, one, and I had to tell everybody that I did it, even though I planned to take it to my grave. And everyone's looking at you and they're like, bro, for real? Did you do that, dog? You know, they're in the jail and he's like, no, man, I went there, but I was picking up a friend and then we went to whatever it is. I don't know, whatever story. He was there. He went to go see Charlie Kirk talk. He wanted to see what all these people, I wanted to go and see, you know, what my friends in the Discord, maybe he is in the Discord. That's where they got the idea. Maybe I wanted to see what the friends in my Discord were talking about. It's a few hours from here. I'm not going to get a chance to see him closer. If that's the case, let me go check him out. So maybe they just took somebody from that Discord that happens to show up and plant them as the person that did it and saw what they were dressing as, had to know when they're getting to. So I'm going too far down, but imagine you're him in that scenario. And you're like, nah, man, I was literally just going to pick up this chick that I met, but I ended up in this situation.
What's up, dude? What's goody? What's goody? What's goody? What's goody? Let's just bring you in nice and close. Who's up in here? Who do we got up in here? Who's up in here? Who's up where? Who's up in here? There. How many we got up over here on Kick, Julia? Let's see here. See, we got 16 people up over here on Kick. We hit 23, 24. What's good? What's good? Can everybody just drop some emotes or some aliens or some team humans? Trying to get a little bit of a head count. Where's Melissa? Melissa, are you still here? You said you weren't doing very well at the beginning. I just wanted to check in on you, make sure you're all right. If you catch me looking over here, guys, I'm just like looking at the camera's right here, dude, but I'm just like looking at the chats. You know what I'm saying? Team Human, what's up, dude? What's up, dude? What's up, dude? I'm grateful for you guys. Can I just be honest with you, bro? I'm grateful for you. Thank you guys for always coming, hanging out with me and showing up, bro. I appreciate it for sure skis. For sure skis. For sure skis. For sure skis. Are you guys ready to get up in this, bro? This is going to be crazy. You guys ready? You guys ready for this? Bling, bling, bling. Mind Unveiled, if you ever see this, bro. Come on, man. I want to collaborate or something. Oh, if you're new here, so basically what happens, this is how the stream's set up. If you followed along the whole stream, this is how it roughly goes. Turn on. Hey, what's up? How's everyone going? Everybody coming on up in here. Hey, what's up? Where are you from? Comment something you're grateful for. And then it's like the opening message that we did. And then it's like, look at the little clips. And then it's like, look up inside web and for a little bit. And then it's at the very end. If everybody makes it all the way to the very end, Ski, then I just like to have you guys come with me while I learn shit. You know what I mean? The whole front half of the stream, a lot of it is me talking and saying things that I kind of already know or have a good understanding of or really understand. Just, you know, and then at the very end, I like to learn, and I like to learn with people. You know what I mean? I didn't do too well in school. I wish I would have. But I just like to learn with people because I think that when we're all learning something together, and if I have a question or if you have a question, it just puts all of our consciousness all in the same energy and all the same place, interacting with the same knowledge. And I feel like it helps me and potentially helps everybody else just kind of understand it all together better. Because If you're just like me, bro, you've been on planet Earth for quite some time, and you might just be realizing this or known this for a long time, but everything we have ever been taught could and very well possibly be a complete lie. Can't say everything, but I also can't not say everything. It's just better if you say like everything's a lie and then just learn. Basically, if you have to, you know, the biggest part of this journey is like coming to the realization like, dang, gotta motherfucking relearn everything. I gotta just do it all over again. Yep, we gotta learn how to eat good. Yep, we gotta learn how to breathe good. Yep, we gotta learn how to live good. Talk good. Be good. What's good? What doesn't feel good? What's evil? What's righteous? You know what I'm saying? And then you gotta pay attention, because between all that shit, bro, there's so much hidden symbols, bro. The symbols are everywhere, dude. You know, like the checkerboard and like the all-seeing eye and the compass, the square and compass and all of that stuff, and the phoenix and the homunculus, fucking Hermes Trismegistus and Libra Vaccae, or the Book of the Cow. You know, the layers just get super deep, bud. The layers just get super deep. But check this out, okay? Before we go any further into this, I like to call them documentaries. You can call them whatever you want. But before we go any further into this rabbit hole of 1600s, 1700s Photoshop and changing of imagery and footage to fit specific narratives, which could, all of the information that we will gather, be very applicable to the things we're seeing today in real time, like specifically maybe with footage and the Charlie Kirk stuff. Maybe it will help us be able to decipher if this shit's real or not. What's real, what's not. You know what I'm saying? So before we go any further though, if you guys are new, please come join the Discord, player. We got a Discord up over in here, Team Human Discord, bro. I'm dropping it in every chat. You know what I'm saying? I'm dropping it in every chat. Please hit the Discord if you're not in the Discord. All chats, Discord link dropped. Hope to see you up in the Discord. But let's get right back up into this. For you, Melissa, today, you want to do a breath work at the end? Or like a meditation at the end? I think that maybe, I get this gut feeling right this second that would help. That's why I offered it immediately. But I mean, outside of us just having conversation, I wish I could have a magic wand, Melissa, that I could just take all your everything that's going on, all the hurt, all the pain, all the tears. I don't wish they go away, but I wish that they do what they're supposed to do. And that's to heal you and to evolve you and to help you grow, to blossom. So at the end, we will all entangle our particles through collective breath work. I'm sending you love. If everybody could just help me send my sister Melissa Clark some love and just spam the fucking chat a ton with hearts so she can feel the love from everybody, I would genuinely, deeply appreciate it. We love you, Melissa. We're all here for you. You're part of Team Human forever. You know what I mean? Get those hearts.
Welcome, everyone. This video is going to be very interesting, as we will be discussing a topic that doesn't get that much attention nowadays. Well, it does, but it's usually only associated with spirit photography. But there seems to be an overwhelming amount of historical photos that are presented as real, yet there's something very wrong with these photos. Here's the question. Were there photo manipulation techniques used during the early days of photography, roughly 1840 to 1920?
Okay, I was wrong. I'm sorry. I have to admit that I was wrong, okay? I said wait, what's going on right here? I said, is Kick working? Kick should be running. Yeah, the Kick is running, dude. It's saying it's telling me there's issues, but Kick is running. Oh, yeah. Kick is running, boy. We're up in here. Okay. Kevin is a human. What's up, dude? What's up, dude? What's up, bro? What's up? We love you, bro. We love you, bro. We just went over some stuff in web, bro. Freaking about the whole 4K footage at the end of the court hearing, supposedly. You know what I mean? The taking the shot. It's retarded as fuck, but hell yeah. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Now let's get into the 1840 to 1920 Photoshop era in the very beginning of photography. If they were able and consistently altered photography and video footage in the 1840s, they are definitely doing that today.
Or are all these old historical photos considered as historical fact? I think once you begin to dive
Whoa. What does that look like?
into this
What about that arch with the keystone at the top of it? You know what I'm saying? Weird.
question, or the idea that they had Photoshop before the 1900s, you'll begin to open some very strange doors that brings up even more questions. We will cover this lost art form of old photo processing and the history behind it to assist in finding further examples of early historical manipulated photos. I wanted to say thank you to Stuff Beagle. He's doing some great research, and I recently watched his amazing chat on this subject on Campbell's Autodidactic channel, so shout out to them, but it's called Overexposed, and it really just blew my mind because I had been seeing this in our research with so many photos. The amount of these manipulated photos are really adding up, so I thought we should make a presentation on this. But yeah, Biggs helped a lot with these photos, so make sure you go check him out and send him some love. With that, let's get started. A photo can be a powerful device. For someone experiencing it for the first time, it can truly be magical. Yet, photos tell a story, and for many, it's how we remember the past. It's our only portal into what life was like, and in many cases, it explains the nature of what city life was like in those times. When the technology of the photograph first came out in the early 19th century, people did not know what to think of such a new technology, to the point where they would have been ignorant of any such advanced methods of the art, such as compositing or layering multiple photos in one. This would not have been known to the average person. Yet, today in the modern day, old photos are used by historians to have a better understanding of the past. From documenting dates, construction photos, even events in history are documented based on this photographic record. For many, we automatically assume that these photos are trustworthy and that they are an
Jeez, doesn't that look like a fucking lodge? Doesn't that look like Tartarian fucking architecture?
accurate depiction of the past. Some of the most famous historical photos are actually never described as being manipulated.
That's actually a really interesting one.
Historical.
This one right here, bro. Have you ever seen this picture, bro? This is an iconic picture, dude. I agree. It's fucking fake and gay, bro. I hope he's showing this image because he's gonna prove to you that it's fake, dude. He's gonna prove to you that it's fake, dude. He's gonna prove to you that it's fake.
Photos are actually never described as being manipulated. So was this some secret art form?
That dude looks like a mason, huh?
I mean, think about it. For such a new device,
Who the fuck is that?
which we know would have to have been taken over by these capitalists and the media of its time, this would...
Here's a tangent, bro. Here's a tangent, bro. For one, who is that? Let me just snap a picture real fast and just ask my AI, because I know he's like a Rothschild or something, player. But who remembers going down the Mad Hatter You guys remember the Mad Hatter? About what these hats were made of? Tells me, they can't really tell me, but I know I've seen that person's face. But you guys remember the Mad Hatter shit where they had like this weird toxin inside of that was used to make these top hats, and it literally drove them crazy. But the top hat was like basically I think beaver. I can't remember it. Maybe it was beaver. But that's where Mad Hatter's disease comes from. You know what I'm saying?
Be powerful.
Yeah, it was beaver. You were right. Crazy. Stacy, what's up? I see you, Stacy Russell. What's good? Thanks for coming up in here.
Propaganda in the wrong hands. The weird thing
Oh, let me fix the mic. Sorry.
is that this subject of old world photo manipulation is not really discussed online either. You may find a few articles on it, but it's all in the style of, did you know that they had Photoshop in the 1900s? And then they show you the spirit photography, the very blatant ones, or just the retouched portraits. But wait, if they had Photoshop in the 1900s, or wait.
Holy shit. I just have to point out, if you know, you know, this shit feels, that image right there specifically just buzzes me up, dude. Just trips me the fuck out. Ancient alchemy and the brazen head and shit and homunculus.
Even before that, 1850s? Wait, before that, since the dawn of photography? What if they manipulated a photograph?
What if there was actually people that walked around and didn't have heads? Maybe, right? Let's just be funny. But obviously it's photoshopped, you know what I'm saying? But like, that's what I start to believe. Is like, dang, these motherfuckers really don't have heads?
Even before that, 1850s? Wait, before that, since the dawn of photography? What if they manipulated a photograph and didn't say anything about it being a photo manipulation? Now, my experience is in digital compositing, although I do have experience in photography as well, but my degree is in computer animation, and I have a thorough understanding of advanced compositing workflows. Interestingly, one of the things we learned in school in my VFX class was called invisible VFX. What this is visual effects that you don't see, meaning it's supposed to just assist the story, but not be noticeable as blatantly edited imagery.
Dang, that one hits home, dude. I remember watching Forrest Gump and really being actually quite confused how in the fuck they were able to do that, because in Forrest Gump, that footage looked real, bro. Who else has seen Forrest Gump? Come on. I'm sorry, I know. Tom Hanks is he's a pedophile, probably, allegedly. You know what I mean? He just seems to have so many implications up in that whole bullshit, you know what I mean, with the you know, come on, man. You know, like the fucking movie Castaway and the fucking volleyball that had the red face on it. Do you know what that red face is? It was also on Ellen DeGeneres' freaking shirt, bro. You know what I'm saying? Anybody else? Is that just me? Nobody knows what I'm talking about, dude. Fuck, man. Come on. It's disgusting. Anyways, this is a great movie. But I was very perplexed. Don't forget about, I know all that. But anyways, he's definitely one of them. But when I watched this, I've watched this movie a whole bunch of times before I woke up and before it became obvious. You know what I mean? But this specific scene of Forrest Gump like talking to President Nixon was just so compelling to me because it looked real as shit.
They used Forrest Gump as it has many examples of invisible effects such as sky swapping, people in green suits, random stuff just to make the scene more pleasing, all with the intention of creating an illusion for the viewer. But this is not new technology. They have been doing this for
Holy shit, motherfucker! Is that Walt Disney?
long time. There's actually a lot of VFX in that movie. And so my point is that there's blatant manipulation that you notice like superhero movies and monsters. And then there's really good photo manipulation that you don't notice. We have to understand that because then that means there may be hundreds, if not thousands of photos on the historic record that could have been retouched or edited in some way. Now at first you may think, well, that's no big deal. They would just clean up the photo. But it was way more than just cleaning up. It's to the point where it would be completely possible to tell whatever story you like. I'm not going to be able to play this video, but go check it out. Vox has a video exposing this, and I don't really think they realize it, but the video is called The Mystery of the Same Sky Postcards. Basically, this guy...
Interesting.
I had an obsession of collecting postcards until he started to notice something very strange. A repeating pattern. Quote, you just see it. So this guy has these postcards grouped and organized and clearly says that they were reusing these same stock skies in all these postcards. Same sky postcards is what you type in on Google to find this.
Scotty Will, you're up in the house, bro. I love you, bro. I just wanted to give you a shout out.
He also mentioned how they would shift it around to try to change it up and make variations even though it's the same sky photo. So why would they do this to hundreds of different cards? To make them look better? To present them in a better light? You know that they put postcards in museums from time to time to show how the city looked back then in the day. People don't really think when buying these old postcards that they have been altered to this degree. Maybe some coloring, but complete masking and sky swapping? What else could they do? Well, in the video, it says that it became clear that these skies were not a part of the original photos, even though they are presented as real and no one ever explained that these were altered photographs, hence the mystery of the same sky postcards. So why would they do that? He then discovers that all these postcards are printed by one company. So they try to explain it off as, oh, this was just a signature of the company, that they would just leave it there in plain sight, but no one would see it? That's strange that they would do that, and it seems to be an operation. So why was this one company going around?
Oh yeah, Stacy. Rumor has it, allegedly that, I mean, we all know, you know what I'm saying? We got two eyes to look and one eye to see, but allegedly, AI won't tell you this because we've asked on stream. But Disney's going back into all of their old movies and putting those line clouds. You know, people say they're chemtrails, but AI tells us that chemtrails aren't real. You know, those clouds across the line that they're going back allegedly and putting them in old videos, so that and then all future videos, so that when kids grow up or they go back and watch the old videos, or they even watch the old videos, that they don't notice that when they walk outside to go swim, it looks like a checkerboard on their sky. Freemasons. I don't know.
And editing all these different postcards from so many different locations. Weirdly, they show this newspaper article with highlighted text.
Like I said, that's allegedly. I heard it somewhere. I'm pretty sure it sounds and feels correct to me. But if you just ask, you know, we're supposed to believe everything we see on the internet. You know, we're supposed to just trust these AI systems. So I asked the AI, and AI says, nope, that's not true. But AI also says that those lines that we see going across the sky is the condensation or some fucking chemical reaction that happens with the oxygen molecule, or like flight trails or something. You know what I mean?
Saying that Dexter Press Inc. is one of the largest manufacturers of picture postcards. But interestingly, in the grayed out text, it says, quote, photo of a...
Ooh, can we take a quick tangent? Let me see what AI will say about this. Can you please give me some information regarding recent studies into dementia and Alzheimer's, how people have been calling it diabetes type 3?
Recent studies have been exploring connections between diabetes and Alzheimer's disease, leading some researchers to refer to Alzheimer's as type 3 diabetes. The idea comes from the shared molecular features among type 1 and type 2 diabetes and the insulin resistance associated with memory deficits and cognitive decline. Research suggests that poorly controlled blood sugar and insulin resistance in the brain might contribute to Alzheimer's risk and progression. Some animal studies have shown that dietary factors can trigger inflammation that affects the brain, while clinical trials are looking at whether treatments like insulin nasal sprays can help improve Alzheimer's symptoms. The overarching message from these studies is that managing blood sugar, maintaining a healthy diet, and addressing insulin resistance may help reduce the risk or slow the progression of Alzheimer's disease.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm understanding that your personal will to be able to control and dictate and I guess have a correct level of blood sugar, obviously not intaking sugar, would be the best way to be able to eat like whole foods and best way to regulate your blood sugar. So out of all the food products, how much of them have high fructose corn syrup?
It's hard to pin down an exact percentage of all food products containing high fructose corn syrup, but it's incredibly common in many processed foods and drinks. It shows up in almost all sodas, some sweetened juices, packaged desserts, condiments like ketchup, prepackaged meals, even crackers, breads, and nutrition bars. Because it's so prevalent, the best way to avoid it is to read labels closely and choose whole, unprocessed foods whenever possible. If you're aiming to regulate blood sugar, focusing on whole foods and minimizing added sugars, including high fructose corn syrup, is a solid approach.
Right. So what I'm implying, or my implication is that this high fructose corn syrup is just fructose times 100, which fructose is the sugar substance inside of fruit. So how hard do you think it would be to be able to control your blood sugar if everything that they are providing you to purchase on the grocery store aisles is filled with high fructose corn syrup? You might be consuming things that have sugars inside of them that you don't even know because you have no intention of eating any sugar and you were eating it without your knowledge, right?
I hear your concern, and you're right that high fructose corn syrup can sneak into many foods. While fructose is a natural sugar found in fruit, high fructose corn syrup is a concentrated sweetener that can raise blood sugar quickly, especially when consumed in large amounts. It can be tricky to avoid, but reading ingredient labels and choosing whole, minimally processed foods can help.
Check this out. You guys ready for this perfect segue? I didn't even know this was going to freaking happen right now, bro. But you should download Bayer, bro. High fructose corn syrup is in everything. We just answered the question when we were talking about dementia and talking about fucking Alzheimer's, right? Or which are brain disorders that are potentially and allegedly directly connected to these brain problems is the blood sugar, right? That's what the AI said is the blood sugar, right? So how you regulate blood sugar is you regulate your sugar intake. How hard could it be to regulate your sugar intake if there is a high concentrated version of sugar in ketchup, bro? You're not even eating no motherfucking sugar. You're trying to have some motherfucking crisscross fries, bro. Some homemade freaking fried up fucking potatoes out of your garden and make fries, and you want to go eat ketchup and shit. And next thing you know, you're eating a whole bunch of sugar, bro. How are you ever even supposed to dictate all this? Well, check this out, bro. This app, Bayer app. I just dropped it in all the chats. Bayer. I'll pin it to the top of the kick chat. Dead ass, bro. This is not a paid advertisement. I really use this app. It's on my phone right now. It's loading. Success. Your subscription is active. Now, if you take this, I obviously know this is bad. Some goy slop, coffee, pink drink, Starbucks, right? You take this little app right here, bro. You take it, go to the little scanner. You can scan anything with a barcode, not just food products. Scan the barcode, and it will pull up all of the nutritional value to me. Pull up everything that's inside of it. It will tell me, obviously we know Starbucks is owned by a megacorp, right? You see that in the corner? But then you can also even go further, and I can actually go in and find out what the added ingredients are. I can literally, it will tell me what is toxic, what is natural. the whole food ingredients, the minimal processed ingredients, hella processed ingredients, completely artificial and synthetic ingredients. I dropped it in the chat. It's a free app, bro. It literally works everywhere on the planet except for France and North Korea, bro. Okay? France and North Korea are the only two places that this app won't work. It will change your life, bro. I promise you. Like I said, it gives you more control. You go out every single day and fucking use your hard-earned money to buy the things that you need to survive. For one, you should be making sure that the shit that you're consuming, you're bringing into your home, you're putting in your cabinets and your drawers, that the people who own that product aren't getting the product from child labor in a different country, that are probably ethically sourcing the ingredients that are inside of your food, that are less likely to use poison for profit. Does that make sense? And then not only on top of that, it also tells you what those ingredients are. Download Buyer, bro. Like I said, this is not a paid advertisement, bro. Not a paid advertisement. I just actually use this app like all the time when I'm in the grocery store.
Bathing beauty beckoning to you on a Florida beach, or a trout fisherman fly casting in a Colorado stream? The odds are Dexter Press has it. So they have a massive collection of photos? In this video, they specifically tell you the process in which they do this. The man who owned Dexter Press had an entire art department for photo manipulation. They just didn't call it that, but that's exactly what they were doing. It's called photo processing, and we'll talk more about it shortly. It would offer to photo correct the problems in the image. So there you go. They were masking images far before Photoshop, and they showed in this video. An artist would come in with a knife and cut a mask for the image and swap out the sky. That's how they did this before computers. But they definitely had the ability to use layers. He even says at the end that after doing this photo touch-up process...
What's up? What's up? What's up? Who's all coming up on the kick? I see up here on Kick, someone's like putting raid. Is everybody coming up in here? Like spinning 1-2, 7x velocity. I don't even know what that even means. Does that mean they're coming over from somebody else's stream? I'm not sure. What's up? What's up, guys? I appreciate you. Thank y'all for coming up on in here, dude. We're just chilling. I appreciate that. Hell yeah. To be 100% honest with you, Menchu, what's up? Yeah, I just got raided, bro, from someone else's stream, bro. I appreciate that. Basically, from what I understand, like a raid is that someone who is on stream and has like a bunch of people watching them. I appreciate you, Mencho, bro. Thank you so much, bro. Basically, Mencho was live streaming. He had people up on his stream, and then he decided to end his stream over on my stream to bring all of his viewers over here, bro. It's so appreciated, bro. I just appreciate that so much, bro. Thank you, bro. Thank you. We're just been getting into some how they manipulate photos, bro, in the 1840s, because it seems as if they were able to manipulate photography when photography was created, and they did so blatantly. Then it maybe will give us a little bit more information when we're trying to figure out if these videos or footage of Tyler Robinson and the Charlie Kirk stuff are real or fake, or any other type of imagery, just to have a better understanding of what information is available. If you're here now, you are at the end of the stream, where at the end of the stream we just like learn shit together. I do stream every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for at least 2 to 3 hours a day. I hope that you guys stick around. I appreciate you for being here. Thank you again, Mencho. I appreciate that, bro. But let's get back up into this.
Says that no one would notice. But let's remember that for later. But yeah, if you guys don't know what a mask is, it's basically creating different elements or cutouts from different photographs so that you can use them later in layers. I can make a mask of a building, right? So I cut that building out, and then I can put it in any situation I want. I can move it on top of another photograph and attempt to find a similar perspective and merge these different layers together to create.
Yes, we are today. Scotty, I appreciate you. I thank you for asking. Yes, today we are going to be doing like a guided breathwork meditation at the end. We'll probably watch this for roughly about 30 more minutes or so, maybe a little bit longer. We got about an hour left or so of streaming. So yeah, so I appreciate you guys for being here. We're just going to watch a little bit more of this, and then we'll do some breath work at the end. We do the breath work not only one because it's magical and medicine for you, but it also helps us all to, at a quantum level, entangle our particles so that when one of the individuals on Team Human needs some support, we can use our sacred instrument called our focus and our attention, because where attention goes, energy flows. And with the quantum theory of superposition and entanglement, once our particles are entangled, one particle can instantaneously affect another particle, no matter the distance. So if we all do breath work and healing together and breathe together and raise and change our own frequencies and the frequency of the collective, then our particles at that moment become entangled forever, and we're able to very quickly and easily transfer energy towards each other, whether it's healing energy, whether it's support energy, or whether it's just us just being humans and just trying to every day be the best human we can to ourselves and everybody around us, so that there are positive ripples of love, light, and laughter, and that uplifting high frequency energy that just gets spread everywhere each one of us are at all over the globe. You know, that's the goal. That's why I like doing these little breathwork things. We're all magically connected, just like Julia said. Maybe you're like, dude, you're fucking gay. You can believe whatever you want. I know deep down, inside my soul, with every fiber of my being, that everything I just said is actually backed by facts, like quantum physics and my own interpretation of spirituality. But I love y'all. Let's keep going on this fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get in one of these little breath work things. I'm telling you what, bro, there's been so many times we've done these breath work exercises, and I'm sitting in the chair, bro, and I'm like looking up into the camera, and all of a sudden everything, my whole body is vibrating, bro. Whoa, fuck, you know? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, you should. You don't be like, hey, you want to come hang out? You be like, hey, you want to entangle particles, homie? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. Can I get a oh yeah? Like for real, that's can you just comment that?
Create a new altered photograph. The more talented the artist, the more realistic the result, and the manipulation is hardly noticeable. But that's only because we were never taught about this subject in detail. If you think this is just a conspiracy, it's not, and I'm sure all of you are well aware of spirit photography. Yet, do they ever explain how they make these photos and the implications of this art form? The story of spirit photography actually starts with a James Wallace Black, and I've never known this in regards to spirit photography, but supposedly before this all went down, one morning in October of 1860, this J.W. Black goes up with one of the best aerialists, Samuel Archer King, and they went up in this balloon named the Queen of the Air.
Okay, real quick. We gotta take a quick tangent. Can I show you guys? Can I let you guys on a little secret? Only you guys who are here live are getting a little sneak peek of this stuff, bro. I'm telling you. You guys want to see the merch we're working on, bro? Matching tank top and shorts for both men and girls, men and women. Can I get a whole bunch of aliens in the chat if you guys want to see these, bro? Bro, little sneak peek, bro. A little sneak peek. Okay, so here's the divine masculine. Okay, so that's gonna be on the tank top, bro. Can you guys see it? It's hard to do it when I'm looking at the camera, you know what I mean? Sick. It's got the lions and shit. That's gonna be like on the front. Check out what's gonna be on the leg of the shorts. So that's all the tank top's gonna have is that divine masculine, okay? And then check out this Tripoverdrip logo that's gonna be on the shorts, bro. Fucking dark blue. You guys ready to see the girls? Can I just get divine feminine is necessary? Can we just put that in the chat? Because a lot of people are not like us, bro, and think that the masculine energy is the one running everything. We have to remind ourselves, bro, as a divine masculine, that I'm just as important and valuable as the divine feminine. She is just as necessary as the masculine energy that I embody. We have to have both. Men need to start empowering women to find their inner divine feminine, bro. Like dead ass, bro. Okay? There's no more I'm better than you, right? For majority of history, men have always had this energy about them that like, I'm the leader. You're gonna listen to me, bitch. Food. You know? And then there was like this energy that came across us where all of a sudden now the consensus that's trying to become the baseline frequency for women is like, fuck that dude. I'm a bad bitch. I don't need no dude. Shit, I'm gonna get that bag. You know what I mean? When realistically, we need each other. The divine feminine and the divine masculine is literally God energy when they come together, bro. That's why they have us separating for arguing over genders. Are you guys ready to see the divine feminine though? Look at that one. The divine feminine, bro. Shee. And then we got the shorts. Obviously this will be on a different freaking, the color schemes for the clothing will be a little different. You'll see them when we get the full imagery. But look at this. This is gonna be on the girls' divine feminine, bro. We love them divine feminine, you know what I'm saying? Look at that, the shining bright, bro. Just that fucking light, bro. You know what I mean, dude? Fire, dude. Thank you guys. I love you. I'm really. This is my issue, bro. Okay? Maybe Team Human can help. If you're in the Discord, maybe DM me a link or something. I need some help, bro. I need some help finding good quality coffee mugs, whether they're like the Stanley version with like the metal inside and the handle, or like an actual coffee mugs like this. Good quality, bulk, blank, so I can press and make coffee cups. Because obviously, bro, I drink coffee every day on stream, bro. I need a freaking trip. We need Tripoverdrip coffee cups, don't we, dude? We need some Tripoverdrip coffee cups, bro. We also possibly need, now that we're on it, I heard, correct me if I'm wrong, I heard through the grapevine that there's a Team Human, like, Tripoverdrip tarot card being made. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. We also need to get some new bags, you know what I'm saying? But I love you guys. Working hard, bro. Over here working hard. You guys like to pull cards, bro? Like, we're all individuals that like don't believe that that's like evil. Regardless of like if you believe in it 100% with your being, we're not the type of individual that's like, oh, you read tarot cards? Oh, you're a fucking witch. Which she probably is actually, but the word witch has been misinterpreted and used as the same as conspiracy theory is. Ain't that true? Oh, we do need sunglasses. We do need some sunglasses, bro. Okay, mind you, let's do it. And mind you, if you guys find me if you find me the products to be able to buy in bulk, bro, okay, you'll get some free, whatever it is that you hooked it up with and help me find and locate the supplies for. I'll hook you. You'll get the free a couple free fresh finished products. But let me show you something. Actually, this is my idea for the sunglasses. Okay. You ready? It's got to be something like this. Come on, dude. Run it up, dude. It's got to be something similar like this, bro. We got to make sure that we're protecting the third eye too. You know what I'm saying? The third eye. We got to get some third eye ones. You know what I mean? That's what they got to be like. Maybe not like this and maybe not like this and like this plastic like type style. You know what I'm saying? You know what? Look how cool that is. Fuck yeah, bro. I'd rock the fuck out of these, bro. You're telling me you wouldn't, bro? Fuck yeah, some Tripoverdrip fucking Team Human fucking third eye glasses, bro. That shit would be so sick, dude. You know what I mean? Sick, bro. Fuck yeah, dude. You're right, Melissa. Which could stand for woman in total control of herself. But yeah, let's get back to this little vid. This little vid ski. But yeah, we're on the hunt for some basic blank, either ceramic type coffee cups or like Stanley type ones. Obviously, as cost effective as possible. And then somewhere I can buy bulk, like third eye glasses. You know what I mean? If you're in the Discord, please send those links to the products if you find them to my DMs.
Now, the reason I bring this up is because this J.W. Blackeye is responsible for creating the first aerial photographs in America in 1860. So they want you to believe that the daguerreotype came out in 1839, but then they waited 20 years to do aerial photography? I don't believe that at all. And what about all those aerial engravings from the early 1800s? Did they have anything to do with this? Well, get this. This J.W. Blackeye, which seems to be some type of propaganda, but it gets crazy because this aerial photography guy meets William Mumler, which is the famed originator of spirit photographs. Many who have looked into the subject of spirit photography will know Mumler very well. They claim in the history that when these two met in 1860, they had already been practicing photography for 20 years. But like I said, why wouldn't they just fly up in a balloon? The US military didn't have any aerial travel? That's what they tell us. Oh, but they had saddle balloons and fancy depictions of these crafts, yet we are to believe it took until the late 1800s until aerial travel became more common. Supposedly, Black was a true believer in William Mumler's ability to capture images of spiritual beings, and I did not believe that for one moment. This J.W. Black had been in photography for over 20 years. He knew all the tricks of the trade. There's no way he just believed in Mumler. He was connected to this entire scam. They say Black believed him because when Black attempted to do this in his studio, he could not figure out Mumler's trick, and so he just trusted it to be true. It doesn't make that much sense because he would have been fully aware that before the glass negatives were used in 1859, that all spirit photography was exposure-based, proving that they had mastered the art of using exposure to manipulate photos. Then in 1859, according to Wiki, the glass negatives began to be used, and this is what allowed for making double images. Now, all of a sudden, spirits began to regularly appear in these photographs. And the interesting thing is that many people believe these spirit photographs to be true till this day, because many of us do not understand the processes that were used to make these photos. So Wiki says 1859, these glass negatives came out and they could make double images. Well, that's not necessarily true, because in 1857, one of the earliest composited photographs that they'll tell us is called The Two Ways of Life from 1857 by Oscar Gustav Freilander. And we'll come back to Mumbler and spirit photography in a minute, but I won't.
How fucking weird is that, bro? You're telling me right now they got something called spirit photography, bro. What in the fuck, bro? That's so insane, right? What do you think kind of manipulation they have to photography today? Do you think that it moving from this type of imagery to digital removed the ability to do so? Or you know how like on these new phones with the AI stuff, they literally had the ability, you have the ability to like completely delete things out of your photos? I heard somewhere that the government and the military had the internet decades before the public ever even heard about it. What's up, Redwood? What's up, Christian? The homies, bruh. Bro, the homies. The homies are up in here. The homies, bro. What's good? Sorry, I'm trying to just fucking create a story real quick. Thank you for being patient. Sorry. You guys, I'm sorry. All right, let's get right into this. Sorry. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you guys. Sorry. Please don't be mad. I was doing something.
You thoroughly understand what we're talking about when we say early Photoshop. Like I said, there really isn't that much information on this, to the point where people don't even know the correct terminology. These early composites have a name. They are called Victorian photo montages. If you look up photo montage, it will tell you about the two ways of life. I actually learned about this in compositing class at school, but if you go look at the page, they won't tell you how many negatives were used in Two Ways of Life on the wiki. And it wasn't just a double image. Two Ways of Life used over 30 glass negatives combined to make this epic photo montage.
30? He just said they used 30 different photo negatives to create this one image. I appreciate you guys' words of kindness. Thank you for your encouragement, Red. Thank you, Christian.
Or what we now call a composite image, Photoshop. This is a very interesting history because it's not well known, and this is 1857. This is before spirit photography. It's also the most controversial photograph, but they never really explain why. On the wiki for photo montage, they'll show you a few examples with pictures, the ones that people probably have heard of, but they're not going to give you a full breakdown. Most art historians know of these famous composites, but it actually continues in the text explaining that these photo montages were used in Montreal to commemorate large social events that could not otherwise be captured. Okay, so faking photos, and then they would create fake postcards, just like we learned earlier. But not just for memories, for propaganda as well, as during World War I, photographers from Europe began producing massive amounts of postcards showing soldiers on one plane and lovers, wives, and children in another plane. It also continues to say that these early photo montages would consist of photographic elements. And listen carefully. superimposed watercolors, or in other words, paint. So Wiki's telling you that they would combine multiple photos to create composites and they would paint on them as well. Interesting. This continues on throughout the early 20th century. The name photo montage didn't really come until 1916, and I think this is a cover name.
Oh man. Can you please grab me something to drink? I have no more coffee, so can you grab me a soda or one of the sparkling waters? Thanks, bro.
You want Dr. Pepper?
I do.
Flavored?
I do not want Dr. Pepper. No.
The Dr. Pepper flavored.
Oh, the Dr. Pepper flavored one?
Yeah, the one that's just like the cherry lime.
Oh, sure. See, this is where, to be honest, if we're getting into this, bro, this is where it starts to get weird, bro. Because I knew this was going to happen. Do you guys know what these are, bro? Cletus, I'll have Cletus come say hello in a second if he wants. I don't know if he wants to. But do you guys know what this is, bro? You know what the Cabbage Patch Kids are, bro? The fucking Cabbage Patch Kids, bro. We got to take a tangent.
Everything under the hat.
We got to take a tangent, bro. I'm looking for the very first video ever recorded. I'm pretty sure it's like a woman in a cabbage patch. What's the title for that on YouTube that I could look up?
The film you're thinking of is called The Cabbage Patch Fairy. In French, La Fée. It's considered the oldest surviving narrative film, showing a woman pulling...
You want to say hi? They can see you on right there. This one, no. Yeah, now they can see you. What's up? Everybody said, thanks, Cletus, for getting the drink. The first sip. There they go. Better Goods. Coconut lime sparkling water. Let's see here. Here you go, buyer. Here's another plug. Remember how that other one was Megacorp? Let's just see. Well, it says right here, there's no bad ingredients, all green. Tap it up in there. Oh, fuck, it's Megacorp owned. Shit. Well, can't buy that one again. The Cabbage Patch Fairy. Let's come over here. $1986. Ooh, here it is. Here it is. Should we just switch straight over to this? Are you guys down to just switch straight over from that Mind Unveiled over to this Mind Unveiled about the Cabbage Patch Fairy? Real quick, though. If you guys are down, I'm down to switch. If you guys are down to switch, I'm down to switch. If you could just put yes or no in the chat. Because I'm about to show this video, okay? I'll show you the 1 minute video. This is literally the very first ever video recorded film, okay? You got that? The very first video recorded film, The Fairy and of the Cabbage Patch. Well, just in case, I don't want to get copyrighted for some music or something, but we could just come back over here and just take a little gander of why in the fuck is this woman dancing, pulling babies out of the cabbage and shit. Doesn't that look suspicious to me, to you? Like, that's a real ass homunculus. I mean, baby right there, bro. You see those homunculi? She's just whipping up out of the cabbage patch. I see the homunculi. Let's get her. Pull one out. Pull one more out. We need another homunculi. Come on, grab another one. Oh, there she goes. Another homunculi right there. Lay it down. Oh, that was a doll. Weird. Weird. That's fucking weird, bro. I could never see it the same, bro. Like the homunculi. It just gets me every time. The homunculus. You know? Let's just get into this. Got another about 30 minutes and then we'll do some breath work. This is 48 minutes. I might just speed it up to 1.25 so we can catch as much of this as possible.
Repopulation postcards seem to really strike a chord with many of you. We have already moved on and are preparing some new videos for you guys, but we were looking through the comments and we discovered some very interesting things about this rabbit hole that weren't really mentioned in the previous video. Many began having deep memories of the past. Comments mentioning how their grandparents were orphans, grandparents speaking of coming from a cabbage patch, even stories of them having to work in mines. Very interesting comments, and I highly suggest that you guys go check them out, and thank you for everyone who shared their thoughts. We see them all, and it truly assists us in our research. There are also many comments concerned with the legitimacy of these photos. How do we know that these postcards are even real? Yet, as referenced in the first video, there is a book on this subject, Babylon Surreal Babies. And on top of that, we will see further proof in this video that this indeed was what they were advertising.
I just have to ask, doesn't it feel weird that he used the word Babylon?
In the early 1890s. There was someone on the Discord claiming that we actually came in and photoshopped these postcards, which couldn't be further from the truth. Then we saw a comment that posted a link in a title, and it caught my interest. Come to find out that this rabbit hole gets even deeper. Yes, even deeper than the fact that they were literally shipping and delivering babies legally in 1913, and they would even put stamps on the children's clothing. Even crazier than that, supposedly, the world's first narrative film, the first real movie ever, is called La Fée aux Choux, or The Cabbage Patch Fairy, from 1896. Now that was the 1900s version. There's some controversy on the film outside of the entire Cabbage Patch repopulation subject because the director was a woman named Alice Guy and later was named Alice Guy Blanchet, which creepily is the same exact woman from the postcards. The 1896 film La Fée aux Choux, The Fairy of the Cabbages, is a lost film directed by Alice Guy, and so supposedly they recreated this film multiple times. You will see this happen with many lost films, and that's its own subject that there may be something else going on with all these early films.
Who's with me, bro? Who remembers the fucking Frankenstein one we went down, bro?
And we're not really told about it. Quote, many films of the silent era have been lost. The Library of Congress estimates 75% of all silent films are lost forever. About 10,000 American silent films were produced, but only 2,700 of them still exist in some complete form.
Have you ever heard of Alice Guy Blanchet?
I'm a filmmaker. I've never even heard of that.
I've never heard of Alice. I've heard of her as with one port. No, I've never heard of her.
I think people think you're making it up.
1895. The Lumières present the first public demonstration of their new invention, the cinématographe, the first reliable method to project motion pictures. Among those invited, a young secretary. She thought, why not use film to tell stories? Alice Guy writes, directs, and produces one of the first narrative films ever made. Alice is one of the first to utilize many film techniques, including close-ups, hand-tinted color, and synchronized sound. Alice founds her own company, where she directs and manages all aspects of production. Following a 2-decade career comprised of 1,000 films that she wrote, directed, or produced, Alice disappears from filmmaking.
How could such an important figure in the birth of cinema not be known?
Many original footages that were completely lost, and then they came in and just replaced the missing footage. Very strange. But the 1896 version of the Cabbage Patch Fairy had a completely different story, involving a honeymoon couple, a farmer, pictures of babies glued to cardboard, and a live baby. We will cover this in detail later, but we only know of this because that's what the supposed Alice Guy character left us with. But how do we know? I mean, did you see the way she was treating those babies? The big question is, why is this the first idea for a movie? It's all very strange. And on top of that, this 1896 version is a lost film, so we don't even have the original. There are most likely many more. But arguably, this is the first movie ever made. Then she remakes this film twice with the 1900 and 1902 versions. Now, the reason that we know there was an earlier lost film is because in 1922, the director Etienne Arnaud wrote in his memoirs that Alice Guy, quote, was the first to have the idea of staging a dramatic scene in front of the cinematographic lens, end quote. The controversy started here because he supposedly, according to the mainstream narrative, wrote the wrong film. The film he was talking about, directed by Alice Guy, was not The Cabbage Patch Fairy, but another film, Le Méfait d'un Daredevil, or The Misadventures of the Veilhead. So
what? I knew this was gonna get weird, bro. If you're new here, you might not know, but if you know, you know. The Misadventures of the Calf's Head? What the fuck?
Calf head? Baby cows? What's with all this dark humor?
Begonia, Humunculus.
Or early film stuff. I mean, all of it is very eerie. These are the first films being made. This film is about a baby.
Wait a second.
I mean, all of it is very...
Y'all see that phoenix or what? The phoenix?
Eerie. These are the first films being made. This film is about a baby cow's head that escapes from a butcher's plate, and then somehow the head combines with the butcher to produce a hybrid human.
Wait, whoa. Let's run that back again.
Was not The Cabbage Patch Fairy, but another film.
You're right, the griffin. My bad. That was a griffin, not a phoenix.
Méfait d'un Daredevil, or The Misadventures of the Veilhead. So calf head, baby cows. What's with all this dark humor, early film stuff? I mean, all of it is very eerie. These are the first films being made. This film is about a baby cow's head that escapes from a butcher's plate, and then somehow the head combines with the butcher to produce a hybrid human. Which, if you look it up, it will say it was directed by another director called Ferdinand Zecca. Now this gets deeper because these first movies were created by the oldest French film company in the world, the Gaumont or Gaumont Film Company, or the Society of Establishments. So the first films were done by production companies, but strangely many of their first films involve very macabre themes, and it makes you question if any of this has to do with Alice Guy and the Cabbage Patch Kids. Well, I would say so, because why would the first films be promoting the selling of babies? Well, they created this...
What the fuck? You're looking at this like weird demon thing, bro. This is like one of the first fucking films, bro, where they're like feeding this meat into like this demon's mouth. What the fuck?
First Cabbage Patch Fairy movie in 1896, specifically for the Paris World Fair and the baby incubators. This movie...
Tartaria, anybody? Anybody? Baby incubators? World fairs? Aliens in the chat?
Is proof that the baby postcards are real. As we were looking into Alice Guy, we found a very fascinating page on this exact subject. And at first, it just came from clicking on a Google image and we were looking for older screenshots of the film. Come to find out that this page from 3 years ago was putting this all together as well. They're not necessarily promoting the orphan train stuff or anything, but this is a massive library of these old postcards, and she connects it with Alice Guy. Then she translated them as well, so shout out to this page. But before we continue, I just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page that these are real postcards and what they are. Two really stuck out to me in this collection because they made it clear that these postcards has to do with repopulation without any question. In this depiction, we can see that there are cabbage and rose seeds being mixed into a device that then produces babies in mass while the woman in the red dress catches the baby, then they fall out of her dress, and then on top of that, she's holding the clock weight signifying changing time.
You guys remember? You guys, who was here? I need to know who was here for the Bible Unveiled. Who was here for last week's 4-hour stream, Bible Unveiled with the key? Y'all remember the key? Just had to make a weird connection.
There's another illustration that translates to repopulation tank or center, and we see a giant woman, the one in the dress, being the symbol for the Cabbage Patch.
What's up, Queen Trip? My wife's in the house. Everyone, I love you, Queen Trip. We all love you here.
Kids, generating many kids that go flying in the air as the man with the top hat begins pumping to fuel the operation. Then you can even see that they're maids to take care of them, and new people coming in to take home babies. Now, many seem to think that somehow these could be photoshopped or fake in the sense that they were done.
Monica, I didn't even realize that could have been a monkey shrine. That is weird to think about.
In the modern day. Well, take a look at even more of these that were not in the first video. There are so many that it's mind-blowing.
What's up, YouTube? Who's on YouTube? I see Scruffmeister. Cass, are you still here? Cass the Chosen. If you're here, say here. Just so I know who's up in here. It did make me think of Begonia with the calf's head. It was weird. They made a hybrid human. Pretty Ricky, what's up? She's in the house. What's up? Thank you guys for all being here. Monica Canada, she's up in here. Hell yeah. Can I get it? Ooh. All right, all right, all right. Let's go. Scruffmeister. Julia. Does anybody else have homunculus eyes to see, bro? Like, look at that. It's just 15 minutes of postcards, so I'm just going to zoom past all of these and we'll just look at them. How come the stork? You know what I mean? That's one of the craziest things. Remember, like, as a kid, I remember growing up and the stork was always the one that brought the babies, you know? You remember that? Dude, they be doing some weird shit over in France, don't they? You know, one of the weird things is they won't allow freaking the buyer app. Fucking gay. Oh, and then you gotta talk about the freaking little domestic scandal up at the top at the presidency with the boys, you know, hanging with the boys at the presidency of France. Kicking it with the homies, you know. Look at that. That's a weird ass picture. Is that a real picture of a huge ass motherfucking cabbage, bro? Oh, I'm not saying anything about politics. I was just specifically saying something regarding the alleged obvious. It's whatever it is. It depends on if you've seen Becoming Brigitte, but it's a dude, bro. Brigitte Macron is a man. At least that's what it says on the internet. Look at that one. There's just tons of them, bro. Cabbage and kids, cabbage and kids, cabbage and kids, cabbage and cabbage and cabbage and kids, cabbage and kids. Just a little homunculus. Oh, if you don't know what a homunculus is, oh yeah, you need to go down that rabbit hole. It's just artificially created humans for the repopulation of great resets. Was that Donald Trump, dude? That looks like Trump right there. Weird. Why is Trump on a cabbage, bro? Thank you for being here. I had no idea. I'm just telling you right now, bro. Like I said in the beginning, bro, the reason I do the mindful messages at the beginning, bro, is because I want you to be able to take something with you, bro. I had no idea coming down here today to jump up on the live stream we were going to end up in the fucking cabbage field, bro. I had no idea. Thank you for being here for whatever crazy ride we always go down. These crazy rides wouldn't be as fun as and enjoyable as they are if you weren't here. The only other thing I can even compare to going down rabbit holes that's enjoyable is the ones I go down with my wife. Outside of that, we go down some crazy ass rabbit holes together, collectively, individually, and inevitably, I don't know what's real, you know, but this seems weird. We just ended up in the fucking Cabbage Patch field today. Oh.
All of this was to promote the incubators that were happening at the World Fairs, which were, quote, a boutique of fully operational baby incubators filled with live premature infants. Why premature? And why are they creating Art Nouveau posters? One done by Adolfo Hohenstein, which is not a postcard, but this is a poster from 1896, and you can see that there's a snake going.
Wait a second. Gotta just take this real quick. And check this out. And check this out real fast. Babyland General Hospital. Fucking weird, bro. Look, it's where they're born. It's where they're born. It's fucking crazy. Where's this rabbit? Where's the rabbit hole we're on? Okay, right here.
Around the stem, but also that there are babies being grown from the flower buds. There is no denying it. These Cabbage Patch references, these growing babies depictions found on these old postcards, real postcards, posters, and now the first film are all depicting babies being sold at incubators at the World's Fair. And we're not going to ask any questions? Is it not interesting that the first film, the first real movie that was not a short, was right out of this period of 1896? Are we possibly dealing with some strange remnants of this art and film that were a part of a transitional phase after the reset? Think about it. What if this footage of the Cabbage Patch Fairy is what was given to the orphans? We only know what was given to us about the original film. And what's with all this remaking film stuff? Seems like there might be something else going on. Could there have been footage in the first film that someone didn't want us to see? Or did they make some mistake and decide that they were being too blatant in their symbolism? We also must consider that during this repopulation process, there would be people in charge or overseeing this process. And what if that's what these first film studios were doing? Getting ready to repopulate the world with entertainment and distraction. Which would explain why many of these old films are so weird and scary. But what if these films are some kind of trolling from elite groups that had not only taken over newly renovated cities, but were also re-engineering found technologies such as the camera? Just like dating on historical events and photographs can be incorrect, The same goes for these early films. Not only do many disagreements and controversies exist on the origin and creators of these lost films, but many aren't even certain of who directed which and what date it was created on.
I'll check. We'll check out the comments when it's over.
So is it impossible to consider that some of these films may not be from an older civilization, but from some type of transitional phase in which these secret societies moved into taken over cities and were going through this repopulation program when they decided to make these films to leave the new inhabitants that were freshly plucked from the fields? It does seem like they were playing with this technology at the time, as if it was some joke. Is this really the true origin of movies? Now, there are more details on this original film.
Wasn't that weird? They just pulled out like a dark colored infant and then they put it back.
First off, there's even more confusion because in 1935, Leon Gaumont, the guy who literally created the studio that was hiring Alice and the other director, Ferdinand, who made the Baby Cowhead film, well, he corrected the matter in 1935 that he himself directed the first film that was trying to tell a story to the audience in front of a painted canvas that naively represented the road of Bilbo. His feminine star was Alice Guy, and two mechanics from the studio were the first screen actors. He also claimed that this first film was called Les Méfaits d'un Rêve. So there you have it. The creator of the French studio, which was started in 1895, stated that he was the original director of the first movie ever made, and that the feminine actress was actually Alice Guy, and that this first film was not the Cabbage Patch Fairy, but the Misadventures of the Calfhead. This is the real controversy. They don't want it to be known that the earliest movie was some weird dark film involving a butcher cutting off a baby calf's head and serving it as a dish. I've looked everywhere for the film.
Real quick, Facebook is giving me problems. I'm going to be turning Facebook off. It's giving me issues. So if you choose to stick around, just go to YouTube or Kick. But I'm turning Facebook off. I don't think that I played anything that was copyrighted, and it wants me to delete the video because it says it's copyrighted. I love you, Facebook. Goodbye. Okay. Facebook's gone. Facebook's gone. Facebook is gone.
And it doesn't seem to exist online. Strangely, as we searched, we found that there's an actual kids book called The Misadventures of Cowhead. Maybe it's nothing, but still strange that this came up when searching for the translated film. So it seems, for some reason, this Cowhead movie was removed from the spotlight so that the first film became The Cabbage Patch Fairy, and that throughout the century, there is enough evidence to confirm there were indeed 3 versions of the film. However, a lot of this new information comes from a book in 1976, translated Autobiography of a Film Pioneer. The multiple authors discuss all this information on how a report was started by Leon Gaumont in 1907, then later corrected in 1945. But it seems that this is just some information coming out in 1976 used to change the history of the subject. As we mentioned, Gaumont made it clear a decade earlier in 1935 what the earliest film was, and that Alice Guy was the actress in it. So there's a lot of back and forth when it comes to the history of a lot of these lost films. Lots of different opinions, but after 80 years go by, and we just forget all about it.
Why does it just seems weird, like, what the fuck? What, they're already, like, hiding the narrative of the first film? That doesn't even make sense. Like, why wouldn't they want, like, photography and cinematography is, like, something magical that humans have created, bro. Like, if you really just take a second to really just think about, like, cinematography and all of that stuff, bro. It's insane. It's like a magic, you know, be able to recreate things that happen. But why is the origin story mixed with so many holes and rabbit holes and weird shit, you know?
And just go with the new mainstream explanation. Well, what if Alice Guy, who in the 1902 version specifically has a midwife, not a fairy, used to assist the honeymoon couple with their child? So they changed the film from the Cabbage Patch Fairy to Midwife First Class, which is strange. So midwives are involved in all of this? Helpers for having babies? Is this the fairy? The woman in the postcards? There are even more details to the 1896 version. It starts with a pair of newlyweds walking in the fields during their honeymoon. They come upon a field of cabbages where a farmer is working. So, this first film was far more advanced as they had multiple scenes. The young man asked her wife if she would like to have a baby. So, they go through the field and find a baby made of cardboard. But both he and his bride are disappointed by it. Then they hear a cooing behind a more distant cabbage. He discovers a beautiful live baby. Then they compensate the farmer and leave excitedly, and the farmer just shrugs and returns to the fields. Now, the confusion becomes greater because in the original film, there was no fairy, yet they still called it the 1896 version of La Fée aux Choux? Or is it something else? Why was it lost? Why would you even make a film like that in 1896 when you're just discovering film for the first time? Seems more like some type of play on occult knowledge, as we see with many of these early films. All we have are memoirs from her, which I suspect have been edited. But in her memoirs, she specifically says that her first film was called La Fée aux Choux, which doesn't make any sense. They make the excuse that because the baby was screaming, that the mother jumped in, and that's the reason there's no fairy in the original film. That's what they leave us with. That this film was made because of the French legend that boys come from cabbages and the girls from roses. But where does this legend come from? And why was it used to promote incubators with occult symbolism? Why is this first film dealing with screaming babies in a cabbage patch and some woman picking them up and putting them down on the ground with little care? More contradictions with these old films include Alice Guy stating in her memoirs that in the photo of La Fée aux Choux are my friends.
Probably a duck. What's up? Hey, our time zones are all messed up, bro. But I need to DM you after the after the live stream. I'll DM you sometime today. I don't know if right now is morning, if right now is night. But I will DM you.
Maine, Ivana, and myself, and that this Ivana is the actress for the fairy. Yet the photo she was referencing isn't even from the film, it's from the 1902 film Sage Femme, which leads me to believe it's not just a coincidence that they have so many mistakes. Someone came in and started adding information that just didn't add up. Also, her descriptions of the movie described that there was a woman running or jumping into the field of focus, and neither the 1900 or 1902 version have this bride running into the cabbage field, which suggests that the 1896 version was shot on a larger format film, such as the 58mm, which allowed for widescreen. That would support there actually being a much larger and longer film originally, and perhaps what we are left with are the fragments. Sort of like Metropolis, which that movie deserves its own video. But the same thing happened with this film. They had an older version, and then they came in and edited certain portions. You'll notice it if you go and rewatch it. But again, what's with all this strange occult symbolism? And also very advanced visuals. They say that this was all painted in backdrops, but I think there's something else going on with these old films. Since people are curious whether any of this is legitimate info, well, all we know is what we're left with.
What the fuck? Did you guys see that? Dude, that was a brazen head, bro. You seen the pentagram, bro, above that fucking metallic metal looking freaking body that stood up in the chair, bro? What the fuck, bro? That shit's insane.
In early catalogs and memoirs that do confirm that these three movies were made by Alice Guy and that they existed for all three versions. The strange thing is, many of these descriptions in these catalogs that come from Alice don't even accurately match the movie. So she must be talking about other films. How could she mistake her own films? Her first description was a loving couple walks through a vegetable garden in search of a baby. A fairy deposits live babies, but she then removes from the cabbages to the delight of the young couple who are overjoyed. This early catalog has been lost, but there is one from 1901, and this description from Alice Guy accurately describes the 1900 version and says it was a huge success. Also, in 1902, Sage Femme was released and was in the September 1903 Gaumont catalog. So they say this first movie was a huge success. But how? It was only a minute long, very creepy, and the babies are screaming and crying. How was it a huge success? And then just a year later, they remake the same movie, but this time with dolls? It's still very creepy. Look at this.
I gotta mute it. I think this might have been what got me copyrighted before, bro. On the Facebook stream. We can just watch it. I think it's the sound. I don't know, bro. To be honest, the whole shit just looks crazy to me with the eyes I have to look and the one I have to see. There's so much occult symbolism in all of this, bro. It's quite insane. It's quite insane. Like, if you really think about it, bro, why would this be like the first stuff they made? It would make sense to me that they would want to film something they were proud of. You know, I guess you could resonate like that. I was more or less thinking like their vegetable crop, like actual vegetables, no, not these Cabbage Patch repopulation homunculus avatars. You know what I'm saying? It would be like, I want to show you my neatly fruitful garden, or let me show you my cool rack from this big moose I got, or you know what I mean? Seems fucking just so weird. Oh yeah, they came up into the first office. If you notice now what we've been watching, they came up into the first office and they had a little transaction before they brought them back up into the garden, and now they're letting this couple come up in here and look. It's so much quieter with the sound off. Can you hear me better now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me better now? We're not playing the audio on this video because I think it might be copyrighted. I'm not trying to get copyrighted. But this is a visual depiction of one of the very first... Real quick, sorry. One of the very first videos of a couple showing up to this place of business that supposedly right now is like showing all of the options, the different babies that they have for this couple to... I don't know what the couple's going to do with it. Take it home? Is this like adoption type thing? I'm not sure yet. I haven't watched this whole clip. I've only just been watching it without no sound. Oh, he looks like he's paying her right now. It looks to me as if like this is okay, we could pause it right there. It looks to me as if that was a transaction. Was that a transaction, dude? It looks to me like it was a transaction where the couple went in there and purchased the baby. Crazy. Let me go back one.
There are only 1 or 2 films in the 1900s to have subtitles, and The Cabbage Patch Fairy is one of them. The longer name of the film is actually The Cabbage Patch Fairy and the Birth of Infants. So it's interesting because in this film it shows the subtitle, The Birth of Infants, which you would think would be the title. But they say that these titles were purely descriptive and that there were no artistic titles for early films, and that she thought of this name with the 1900 version, but I'm not sure if I buy all that because she says multiple times in her memoirs that her first film was La Fée aux Choux. There's more evidence that these may very well be all connected to the same film. The evidence for the 1896 lost film is found in 7 extant Gaumont films. They say that when the painted panels of these films are put together, the size, at least 40 feet long, indicated that it was prepared for a larger format film on 58mm that was only used at Gaumont during 1896 to 1897. These original 1896 backdrops from the lost film are supposedly reused in the 1900 and 1902 version. Some of these panels connected along their edges, and some are connected by specifics in the painting. and that there was even a witness that claims that one of the painted backdrops from the 1896 film was used in the dark misadventures of the Calfhead film. Now what if these are all connected and there's a reason that they are lost films? I mean, how do you just lose the footage? Well, think about it. What if it was once one large film on Cabbage Patch Kids, like a feature widescreen film in 1896, but they decided to remove it? Or was it possible that this was during some transitional reset time, while orphans were currently being populated? These societies, or the societies of establishments, or Gaumont, had begun playing with the technology that had been left from a prior age. They performed these occult shows and plays on film in a very dark and comedic way, just to leave behind for the orphans. And they were heavily symbolic, combining symbols of cabbage patches or genetic engineering with the symbols of sacrifice and the butchering of the calf head, the baby cow's head. Well, these early films were actually done using a different technology. One of the Gaumont Studios' other major achievements include Vie Passion de Christ, which was also directed by Ferdinand Zeca, who directed the
You know what the buzz is, bro? The buzz is my freaking my air conditioner. I'm in the basement of the place I live, and it's been so fucking hot. This thing never turns off, so it always got this bzzz sound. I'm actually gonna work on muffling it. Actually, now that we're talking about it, I appreciate you telling me. Thank you so much. But it's my air conditioning. Dang, does that mean that my air conditioning, because it buzzes like this during the day, it's gonna force me to do it when it's cooler? I'm not sure. Dang.
I've had movie. Well, this is one of the earliest examples of colored film using a stencil color pathochrome process. This is quite the achievement for its time, and there are a variety of other manipulation and compositing techniques used. It hints towards there being an older origin to this art form. Alice Guy has other movies as well, many of which that are very strange. She was also involved in what is called trick films, where they would show someone doing magic tricks with the purpose of selling compositing tricks as real. There's also one on animal magnetism.
Thank you guys. I just want it to be good for you. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason I'm saying it, is because I just want it to be appealing, appeasing, comfortable. I don't want annoying noises for you guys, because then that means that people won't want to stick around. You know what I'm saying?
Where a hypnotist puts a woman into a trance, which was really just a man in a dress, undresses her, and so it would seem that they do know of many occult topics. What's even stranger is that from 1896 to 1920, she has over 450 films. Around 1910, her name was changed to Elise Blanchet. And sure, many of these videos are shorter in length, but I just don't see the proof that she made all of these. Because they left us a title in the movie, or a description, that's it? She has over 100 lost films. Is that not suspicious? Or is there...
Fuck yeah, it's suspicious, bro. Super suspicious, bro. Bro, that's just weird as fuck, ain't it? Suspicious as hell, bro. You know what I'm saying? We got 10 minutes, chakra daily recharge. Let's hear the voice. Nope, can't do that one.
Welcome to this guided meditation for breathing.
Ready to rock a breathing a breathing meditation. Let me just get the volume up on here. You know what I'm saying? If you can, you know what I mean? Chill, kick it, sit down, do some breathing, bro. It's so good for you, bro. Breathing is great. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? We got to, it's not the light buzz. There might be a light buzz I can hear actually, but it's the AC. It's like really just right there. But we're going to do some breathing, okay? 10-minute breathing exercise. You know what I mean? We got to drop it down just to end the stream with a little bit of breathing, all right? If you can, sit down, lay down. Don't be trying to do this while you're driving. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to hurt yourself. It's all about safety. It's for everybody to be safe, to heal, for us to at the end of us hanging out, we're all about to entangle particles, homie. I keep doing that. All right, let's get into it.
Begin by getting into a comfortable seated position, preferably in a chair with your feet planted firmly on the floor, legs uncrossed. Either way, take a moment to adjust your sit bones so that they feel balanced and even on either side. And let your spine strengthen and lengthen, feeling balanced and centered, as well as tall. Shoulders rolling back slightly to open up your heart, and letting your palms rest comfortably in your lap, however feels good to you. Allow your chin to tuck very slightly under, making sure your spine is perfectly straight. And when you're ready, lovingly close your eyes. For now, just become aware of your breath. What sensations do you notice? Do you feel perhaps a coolness at the tip of your nose when you breathe in? Maybe a warmth as you breathe out? What muscles are you engaging? As you become more aware of your breath, you also become more aware of your body as a whole. Noticing the points of contact between you and the surface on which you are seated. Perhaps feeling the sensation of clothes on your skin. And as you let yourself be more present in your body with your breath, we will begin to become more intentional with the style of breathing. On your next inhale, at a pace that feels good to you, let your belly expand as you breathe in, while your upper chest remains relatively still, breathing in through your nose, holding at the top, and when you're ready, exhale through your mouth, stomach contracting, ribcage continuing to remain relatively calm and still. At the bottom of that breath, repeat. Stomach expands as you breathe in, as your upper chest remains relatively still. Breath is held momentarily at the top. And when you're ready, exhale through your mouth, stomach contracting. All the while, your chest remains relatively still. Again, stomach expands as you breathe in. Through the nose, chest is still. And belly contracts as you breathe out through the mouth. Chest is calm. I want you to do this at a pace that feels good to you. But on your next exhale, take your time with it. Let every exhale be twice as long as every inhale. Moving at a pace that feels good to you. All there is right now is this breath. Breathing in through your nose, belly expands. Breathing out through your mouth, belly contracts. Every exhale is twice as long as every inhale. This helps you slow down. If any thoughts or feelings come up for you, that's okay. Do not judge yourself if you get caught up in anything. When this happens, just return your awareness to your breath. Keeping your upper chest relatively calm and still lets your body know that you are safe. Belly expands on every inhale and contracts on every exhale. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, with each exhale twice as long as each inhale, at whatever pace feels good to you. If it helps you to count the breath, you could perhaps breathe in for 4 and out for 8. Or you can just focus on how it feels. We're all different. Choose what feels best for you. Either way, anytime a thought comes to mind, instead of forcing it away, just retune your attention to this beautiful breath all throughout the rest of this meditation. Remembering to keep your upper chest relatively neutral and calm. On your next inhale, take an extra deep breath in, both stomach and ribcage fully expanding now. Feeling your entire torso expand as you breathe in, holding it at the top, and whenever you're ready, let it all go with an audible sigh. Feeling your chest and belly contract. Notice a sense of expansion now as you breathe in, returning to a pace of breathing that feels good to you. Letting your chest rise on every inhale and fall on every exhale. You begin to become grateful to yourself for showing up for this, saying thank you out loud or in your mind.
Thank you.
And you take this peaceful feeling with you as you begin to roll your shoulders, wiggle your fingers and toes, and at a slow pace that feels good to you, around you.
Dang, bro. That shit. Damn, bro. Thank you for even being here for that. If you guys are here for that, that's I feel calm, bro. Like I feel you know what I feel? I feel how easy it is to take a full deep breath and fill my entire lungs. Woo, I love you guys. Absolutely, Melissa. I try my best to show up for myself, my wife, my children, and then for all of you. And I think I do a good job. I make mistakes. I'm always trying. I'm just always trying to do better than I did yesterday in many different capacities as a father, a person, a brother, a son, a husband, a human. You know, that's what it really boils down to, bro. Is that we're all just humans, bro. And I know for a fact, one thing that they definitely didn't want us to learn how to do was to learn how to breathe correctly, bro. Breathing together, I think not only one allows everyone to experience it, bro. It helps so much things, bro. It helps with yourself. It helps us feel connected. I don't know. I feel energetically. Woo. That's like a audio visualization representation of how my energy is feeling, and we're all feeling it together, bro. We're entangled, bro. I'm sending all you guys the mostest love energy, light energy, laughter energy, dude. Let me get those freaking things. Let me get these things, these balloons. I love you, Team Human. Don't forget, tomorrow, Queen Trip will be on. Probably by tomorrow, we're going to have some new merch, the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine matching sets. Tank top and shorts. You know what I'm saying? I love you guys. Thank y'all for being here. Peace out, guys.